because the recording is HD where Facebook only goes to like 480p. Nerds.
Yeah, it's fine.
Come on, guys.
Progressive skin is better than interlace, though. Real
I
nerd.
know everything you're talking.
This is the real nerd. This is the real nerd conversation.
So,
Nerds and beer.
Welcome to the studio.
Yeah.
We're not starting now, but welcome.
Chip.
Chip. Quick sip. That's just kind of keep track of what we're doing here. Ready to go?
I'm ready. I was born ready.
Just looking at your notes. Perfect. Are you watching the stream on your end? To like maybe get.
Oh no, I could. Let me
pull it up just for
let
like
me turn,
for
let me turn my
comments.
audio off.
Because I won't always keep it on this Facebook here.
Yeah. Oh, we're live now.
Oh, Kathy Frick says hi, Ben Watts. Not to Jeff though. So sorry, Jeff.
No, it's fine.
And you met her last week too. I mean, the friendship doesn't.
It happens.
Yeah, it's fine.
It happens.
Let's see. Get it on there. What do you got going on there? Oh, the notes.
Yeah.
we're trying to be professional journalists here. All right.
This is a business.
At least I didn't bring a notebook or a pen or anything at all, and now I finally brought a laptop. I've grown up, so no, we're trying to do it. Trying to do it
You
for
got
real.
notebooks, pens. All right. Ready?
Yeah, I'm ready.
Okay, live from the Let's Talk Beer studios in the seacoast of New Hampshire. This is Let's Talk Beer, the podcast where we sit down, have a beer, and talk about
Beer.
horses.
Oh, sorry.
Got it. Yeah, I got him. He's
Stuff.
new.
I must
Stuff.
Yeah, he's new to the studio. We'll get to him. I am your host, Brian. Joining me, I like to say as always, but he's back. First time in the studio, Ben Watts. What's up, Ben?
What's going on, gang?
God, he's back. How you been?
Good. Well, much better now. Yeah, happy to be back.
Good to hear. Oh, man. And now, officially, this is it.
Oh,
the moment you've been waiting
alert
for.
Chuck. Alert
The
Chuck.
moment you've been waiting for. Co-host of Let's Talk Beer, along with me and Ben, Jeff. What is up? Co-host, the robe. Bring it in.
Co-host finally where's my
Bring it in.
jacket?
Yeah.
Where's my key to the private washroom?
Yeah. Welcome. You're now a co-host.
Thank you. I appreciate that. I'm glad to be here.
Yeah, you've been here for a month, and we can't get rid of you, so we may as well give you the title of co-host.
That's what everybody says.
We did
yeah.
it.
Yeah.
We are also live on Facebook. Again, for those that are listening to the audio podcast later, we record these shows live for video because, I don't know, I have a webcam and it records things, and we got stuff on there. So
Use it or lose it.
yeah,
We actually have two cams now, right?
we have two cams. Yes,
have two cams.
Introducing now the beer cam. And Jeff, why don't go ahead and introduce the beer that we're drinking now and its rights here.
It's right there. So for those of you that watched our pre-podcast show, Brian and I went and drove around and purchased some beer, and the one we're drinking right now is the Pilsner from Liar's Bench.
To you
Now,
audio fans that just drove off the road,
Yeah.
we screamed pills.
I did that with extra gusto
It's right there. Look at that-
because
look at that wave.
if you can see the tag on it, the Pilsner has an exclamation point at the end of it. This is a tart Pilsner.
Yep.
And so to recognize the tartness, they decided to add the exclamation point.
Awesome.
So it is a Pilsner, not a Pilsner.
Yeah, so we are recording this live. We have for the video now. Oh, do you want to turn the light on, please?
Oh, yeah. Hold on. Let's turn that on.
Please. I mean, even though it's not necessary, this is so necessary for the video. I think I have to press the little ditty. Oh man, are we doing this or
It
what?
looks so much better.
So yeah, it looks the exact. It looks great. But no, we're drinking a growler of the Liar's Bench Pilsner.
No, do it right.
Pilsner.
Yes, you got
Sorry
the
for
finger
the
up
pun,
and
yeah.
everything.
But yeah, it's a tart Pilsner. Ben, thoughts?
I love it. I love it. Big fan of Liar's Bench. You hadn't mentioned the tartness before, but now that you say it, I'm like, oh yeah,
It's the tartness is one of those things where it isn't exactly tart.
What does it do to it?
I'm gonna get there. Stop leading me.
All right, yeah.
It isn't
Leading the
exactly
witness.
tart
Dude.
because of what the rest of the Pilsner sort of balances it out. But I feel like it's less pissy. Like a lot of Pilsners have that sort of cat pissiness to them. This does not, and it's quite lovely.
Takes
like
the piss.
This is what I drank the most of when we were there, and I don't think there was any question that this was the growler we were getting. It's
great.
Fantastic.
And it was. I finally remembered to bring the growler. Like that's the
The
part-
growler.
And Ben and I have been talking about this for millennia. That we would show up at a brewery, we want to take a growler home, but we don't have it. Luckily, we're in the situation. All three of us are for sure in the situation where a brewer will lend us a growler as long as we bring it back.
Yeah.
That kind of thing. But you're never in that case. We need
Growler caddy.
Yes, growler caddy.
Trademark.
Once you finish a growler, put it in your growler caddy in your trunk. You're good to go.
So there, I'll sort of lead on that we're going to have a beer from shit. I forgot the name already.
Tributary.
Tributary. Thank you. I've had too many
What?
drinks.
Jesus.
Yeah, I've had too many drinks. But
this
they remind you
second.
at Tributary they will give you your deposit back instead of just feeding you
Yeah,
a new
that's the
growler.
old school way. That's how it used to be. Like,
Exactly.
you would turn
Oh,
your,
if you return it and don't
Yeah,
take
yeah,
anything.
'cause you would pay it.
Yeah,
it would
yeah.
say on the
All right.
growler like this is a
Denise,
deposit. You
Denise
would
made a
give
point to say if we'll just return the money if you bring the growler back.
Amazing.
That's all they want is
Cheers
their glass.
to Flying Goose. When we were broke college kids up in New London, we would go around to like people's apartments and steal their growlers, get $3 back at a time.
And hot tip for those that don't know, Ben and I were able to take advantage of this loophole in the New Hampshire beer law. Is if you bring an unlabeled growler, it could be it's at the discretion of the brewery, but if you bring an unlabeled growler to a brewery, they can fill it up if they.
Do they have to put their own sticker or some
Nope,
sort of
no,
label on
they
it?
don't.
It can be
So
entirely
for-
unlabeled.
Their discretion.
For this one right here on the video, we went to Seven Settlement, had this filled up. This bad layer
Didn't
filled
give
up.
us a second glance. Just like, you got it.
But
So-
we felt sketchy asking.
Well,
Like,
and you know how some places are like militantly against it, and then customers get all
Yeah.
pissy about it. I respect the fact that they want to put their quality product in some sort of quality vessel that they can control, and so I don't have a problem with breweries declining that request. Like,
No, totally, and especially if they look at the glass and it's bad. I mean, I've been to Earth Eagle when someone's given them an Earth Eagle glass and like we can't exchange it because we don't have enough to exchange, but you're gonna have to pay for another one because this is like dirty.
Yeah.
And we don't want to fill it because it's bad. And it's usually the husband blaming the wife for the situation, but let's be honest, guys, clean your fucking growlers, right?
yeah, I mean, and if you're a regular in the growler trade, you should understand that. I think like
When you're done,
it's very
rinse, at least rinse
like
it.
clear.
Yeah, and what I forget it might have been Earth Eagle that taught me the whole thing of when you finish it, rinse it, but don't instantly put the cap back on it.
Correct.
Let it air out.
Yeah. Somebody was saying just throw the cap away.
Yeah,
I
we
think
don't-
there's-
so that's a new cap. Yeah, throw the
There's
cap
there's
out.
some breweries that tell you actually they're like
Yeah.
we don't want
Yeah,
we
I feel
don't
like I
want
saw
it
that
capped back.
on someone's on the growler instructions.
I feel like
wash
definitely.
it with warm water, no soap, throw the cap away.
Hot tip. So there
So
we go.
that's your growler maintenance.
Yeah,
I feel like
session
we're
right
gonna
there.
have
we
like
do that once an episode.
we're gonna have a whole growler show like coming up. It's
Definitely.
just like this whole thing.
Yeah, and if anybody from Growler Chill is listening, we would love.
You are coming in hot.
Oh yeah, coming in hot.
I'll just tell you
Any-
down a little bit here. Before you get on your soapbox and continue.
Anybody from Growler Chill,
Yeah.
If you're listening, we would love a Growler Chill.
We,
Please,
we've
please.
contacted them since 2 episodes ago when Sean introduced us to the Growler Chill. I even have a sticker, but I hesitated putting it up on the laptop because I want to make sure they're in on this.
Yeah, there's no free
It
advertising.
would look
here.
nice right here. Just
Right
a
there.
Oh, such a blank space
Bam.
right here
Right
for a
there.
growler
bam
show.
Growler Chill, huh?
Yeah, we want our growlers killed.
Use promo code Let's Talk Beer to get 1,000% off. That's what we'll say in the
This
future.
week.
every 5
Every week.
minutes.
So yes, again, live on Facebook. If you want to watch this show, even though you're listening to it, you can get on there. We're gonna archive it every week because we got new stuff going on, including the beer can, which we're super pumped it is working. And let us know what you think. We are also taking listener comments. Should we get into those real quick, and then we'll get into the main meat of the situation. We'll do listener comments that don't pertain to the main article just yet, because we do have a topic of the week that came out of nowhere. I think it was Monday. You're like, "Here's this." I'm like,
Yeah, I
the
got
whole
off
show
Reddit.
is the whole show's based on it."
And I think we've led up to this, but
Absolutely. So what we do each week, we're starting this week, I guess.
we've
Starting
solicited
last
for
week.
a couple weeks.
Yeah. So we'll let you know when the next show is, and we'll also solicit some comments and questions. It could be literally anything. You could ask us what our favorite food is. Doesn't matter. We want kind of this. I hate to use the word conversation, but we want this back and forth with everyone that listens.
Yeah,
to us.
because if we don't get enough comments, we're going to start calling random people, and you're going to have to.
it's gonna
talk
turn to the
us.
Jerky Boys real quick, and then just
You're live on Let's Talk Beer.
Yeah. So we do have a couple. Do you have any that are pertinent to anything?
So let's talk about. So Teddy Miller threw out the questions on Trillium's head brewer going to work for 6 Point.
Ooh.
Which I feel like is a question only because like everybody thinks Trillium's the greatest thing in the world right now, or like it's a big deal. Like
It might be
because how many other brewers have changed jobs in the last couple of weeks? Probably a bunch, and nobody talks about it. But Trillium gets it in the news.
that could be a good reality check too for Trillium fans, because we've been talking about 6 Point for a while. I mean, it's not that we talk about him every day, but like we were just talking about it. I think it was you and I, just like Bengali Tiger. I haven't seen it in a while, but
Yeah,
if
where'd
I
they
see it
go?
on tap, I know it's good. We were talking about resin a little
Resin,
bit,
yep.
so it's it's a good reality check for like, oh, 6 Point's been around longer than Trillium. A lot of people probably don't know that
Yeah.
because they're in line at Trillium right now.
And well, like, where is 6 Point gone? Like, to your point, like
Yeah, I don't know.
we don't see it very often. I think I only see it in cans. When was the last like 6 Point draft line?
I mean, you know what? I see it at the Moose, but
That's true, yeah.
but
Everything's
every
at the
day,
Moose.
and
Yeah.
I mean, they're from New York, so they're close too. So it's like, why does every bar not have Bengali Tiger or something like that, or why is even every third bar not have that? I don't see it anymore.
And for me, it's like going back to the Bengali, which I think is a pale.
It's an IPA. I
Something-
think. Well, so
Yeah,
there's
it's
actually
kinda
there's a better
nondescript
there's a
with
better
that.
conversation to have about 6 Point, how that they don't put styles on their packaging,
yeah.
which I think is awesome, because in today's world where who cares about style?
And they have those smaller. Are they 13.3 or are they skinny 16?
Like the
cans?
resin.
Red Bull
I'll stop
cans.
doing this on the video though.
Yeah,
sometime.
The resin and the three beans are, but the Bengali
Oh,
Tiger,
Three Beans is so good.
it's okay. The
We have a yeah.
I
and a-
like it.
All right, good.
It's okay.
All right, good. Two versus one.
The Bengali
back.
Tiger, I think, is in a tall boy. It's in a regular
Okay.
tall boy, though.
And-
I think so. They do mix it up.
It's one of those beers. It's almost it's one of those good go-to beers, and we've talked about this a bunch before. Where I'll go to a bar if I see it. It's just a lot like the Oxbow Farmhouse, where you get it just to look over the menu.
Yeah.
like you know it's going to be a good beer all the time.
Yeah. It's
So
your substance.
so if anything, maybe like I don't know. Here's a good question. Going off of the great question we just got there. Do people waiting in line, so waiting in line at these breweries like Trillium and Treehouse and Bissell, do they know who the brewer is?
Probably not.
B, do they care? Like, would this news even shake them?
So here's the question: when did that brewer that's leaving Trillium start at Trillium? I'm asking you both, who are.
I don't even know.
knowledgeable beer-
I don't even know the Trillium brewer's name until you or this particular.
So,
one. Yeah,
Eric Bockley is his name. He has a
Ehrlich Bachman.
yeah.
Just making sure. We're in good company here. All three of us.
Aviato.
Yeah.
He has a diploma in brewing, which I think is what the dipple.brew means after his name, which the article put in there. Which, can you pull the article up on the screen?
Yeah,
actually,
I can do that.
he joined Trillium in August of 2015. So he's not the founder. He's not the.
Wait, do you have the link?
You didn't.
No.
You don't. Yeah.
I'll look it up.
Yeah,
Continue.
all right. So he's not the founder. He wasn't the guy from there at the beginning. He's been there 2 years. And I believe we'll give a shout out to Dan Pepler, who I believe commented on Teddy's question, where this guy was the only one. He was brought in to scale them up to the Canton Brewery. Like, he was brought in
Here we
because
go.
he had bigger experience or whatever the case may be. I don't know. His previous experience is this. He brewed for the Craft Brew Alliance.
Sure.
Again, according to his
Is that
LinkedIn.
like Red Hook? Like
In Portsmouth, New Hampshire.
yeah,
So yes,
that's Red
so
Hook.
he was
No kidding.
for a year though. He was a brewer 3, a brewer 2, a brewer 1. So, and then before that, he did an internship at Jack's Abbey, and then he worked for Blue Hills.
And then Trillium? Like after that?
Yeah, so it was Trillium.
oh, okay.
It was Trillium, and then Craft Brew. Excuse me. It was Blue Hills, then Craft Brew, then Trillium. So he's definitely worked his way up, but he's never stayed anywhere very long.
Yes, that's interesting.
11 months.
So is this a news
year.
story? Is it so?
No, I think the answer is it's not.
So it's just
it's
someone's
just-
moving, but it's because it has the word Trillium in it.
Is this an HR podcast? Because maybe it's a story there, but I don't.
Welcome to the HR podcast.
I don't think it's a
Yeah.
story.
Okay. Well, thanks for the question, though. I mean, it is
Absolutely.
Absolutely. But it takes questions like those to even bring that up, because that wasn't on our radar doing the show.
Oh, exactly.
So
And it was
it's good to know.
as soon as I googled it, it was like, oh, the news was 2 days ago, and I heard nothing of it.
Yeah.
I'll go with another one from Stephen Lacombe. Is Boston beer still craft? I think we've danced around
Jesus.
this a bit.
Yeah, we've talked about it some too. It's the BA Brewer Association.
Does volume matter in craft definition?
Ooh.
I feel like heart has a lot to do with it.
Yeah.
But when you take a step back, I think a lot of people forget that out like Boston beer, it's just like they think, yeah, Sam Adams, they do all that, craft beer, and sure they do a lot of varietals and take up a lot of shelf space that could be used up by other smaller breweries. But you forget that it's also Curious Traveler, Angry Orchard.
You're right. The
whatever,
seltzers.
seltzers. It's a
So
lot out there.
so recently, I'd say recently, but I think it was like maybe 2-3 years ago, because this is what we covered on the Seacoast Beverage Lab podcast. But every year, the Brewer Association comes out with definitions for this. What is a craft brewer? it has recently changed from somewhat volume, but now it is how you're owned. Who owns you? Kinda. So if you're owned a certain percentage by a major corporation, other than
25% or less,
So
can be owned
so
by a non-craft
That's
brewer.
absolutely fair.
and
that
but
makes
there,
total sense.
But there's a technical term behind that. But now that we're starting to see these breweries being bought out, like almost fully, like Ballast Point bought out by we just talked Constellation, and now with
Lagunitas.
So they were craft. Does all of a sudden money just mean you're not craft anymore?
No. So I have two things to say about this. Is first of all, look at what Boston Beer has done for the industry. What was it, 10 years ago when there was a hop shortage? They said, hey, if you're a craft brewer, or a small brewery, you can come you can get some of our hop allocation. Yep. I know that for things like GABF, their distribution network is used sort of as reverse distribution to help get local smaller breweries beers to Colorado for GABF. They do stuff in support of the industry, and I've never heard once of, we can't get shelf space because there's too much Boston Lager on the shelf. Yeah. Like, not that I think that they would let their market share go, but they're not out there doing these, these vilified things that big beer is doing. So I think that is, that's a fantastic thing.
And we'll talk about that shelf space thing with the main article for sure. Because I mean, it's still, it will forever be the beer. The argument behind beer is shelf space.
Yeah,
for those that want to be
for a decade.
Yeah,
even when there was a quarter of the number of breweries there are today, it was still the battle for shelf space.
But to kind of go on that question, take a little bit of liberties on that. Do you guys drink anything from Sam Adams? Any favorites? Like, do you get the winter pack when it comes around? I try to. Depends on how they shake it up, because I know each year they kind of mix it up. I will go for a Boston Lager because I like it, and I want to remember what it tastes like. It's consistent, but
I mean, I drink Boston Lager on occasion. It's probably more so when I'm not at home, when I'm traveling somewhere, and maybe I'm somewhere that doesn't have a whole lot to offer.
It's the hotel craft beer.
Yeah, but I've also never been a super Boston Lager fan. It's just not my style. Like, I like the Boston Ale better. Yep. I like some of the other stuff they're doing. Honestly, the Rebel's not bad. I'm impressed they survived as long as they did without making IPA. And now they've sort of dove into the game there. So I think they make some good beers. I'll say this: one of the ways I've always described them is I wish they made half as many beers twice as good a quality.
Yeah, absolutely.
Like, that's
they got a little out of hand. Like, right when the Rebel came out, they sort of come out with, like, I mean, not to say that the funk stuff is bad, but like when they come out with the bigger barrel bottles,
they're like the Brewmaster's barrel series.
It was fine, but it was almost too much. Like, I don't know if they were trying to reach, or they're just trying to reach everybody. Where
I think that's their problem. That's their problem. I think they're trying to reach everybody with every beer they make.
Average consumer is like,
but
wait,
they
slow
have
down.
like the marketing behind that.
Yeah.
They have the ammo to be able to do that.
But if you had that, would you do that? If you had if you had all the money in the world, would you just try to go for everything, or would you try to like make a specific portfolio of like, here are the beers we're talking about? Because they came out with 3 different Rebels last year or 2 years ago.
Yep.
So yeah, so it's like the double, the
buy
regular,
like a 12-pack of Rebels.
Yeah.
Right now.
So
4 different kinds.
So the question is like, do you if you have the money, do you go for everybody, or just like kind of hedge your bets on a couple of these beers?
Again, they should make half as many beers twice as good. That's the answer.
Or stay with me, shut them all down, make only Utopias. All right. Next topic.
No, let's. We have a whole Utopias show next time. I mean,
please send us your Utopias if you're watching.
We'll
do it.
Yeah,
I mean, I have a bottle. We can crank into my bottle. The only thing I wanted to say one more about that is the redefinition of craft, whether it be to accommodate volume, whether it be to accommodate ownership.
Yep.
If you have to redefine your product every year to fit in the people that you want in, it's like a private club at that point.
It's true.
Like,
yeah,
show me another industry that redefines their product to that extent. This year it's 1 million barrels. Next year it's 2 million barrels. This year you can, because somebody got bought that we liked, we're going to exclude people who are owned. Like, That's my bigger problem, and it's not Boston Beer's problem. That's the Brewers Association problem.
It's kind of good and it's bad because when you look at it in a local forum, that a Brewers Association for a state is the best thing ever. It helps with politics. It helps with getting the name out of the brewers in the state. Where a Brewers Association is the umbrella kind of corporation for all breweries, like you're not joining, like you're a craft brewer. You're not like paying dues, I don't think. But
you know what? If they change their name to the Craft Brewers Association, I'd feel okay. When you're
that's a good point.
So
yeah,
like,
so
again,
yeah,
show me
so
another.
why can't AB be part of the Brewers Association?
Show me another association of something.
Yes.
You know, a woodworkers association. Oh, but you use power tools. You can't be in. No, like that's you work.
I
with
want to be
wood-
part of this. It's Whittlers only. Just got to whittle down.
Yeah, so call yourself the Whittlers Association.
That's
like,
the name of this
that's-
podcast. Damn it.
Call yourself the Whittlers
Yeah.
Association.
No, not the whole thing.
But that's that's sort of my thing about it too. Is if your product doesn't have such a firm definition that you can just make up a new one,
Yeah.
what does it matter anyway?
Right.
So I think we've had enough of that.
No, it's good. Yeah. So, real quick before we get back into the main topic, do you have any quick hits, any more comments before we get to some of our live watchers have some questions and some comments? But
Let me check here. I'm not seeing anything.
we do have one question from future guest Anthony Cormier.
Oh, yep.
asking who the guest is, and that's the.
It's me, the founder.
Yeah, the founder of Let's Talk Beer, Ben Watts. He's back. Vacation, dad stuff.
Actually, Anthony, part of
yeah.
your show is going to be a lot about balancing dad stuff and beer. So
yeah.
you have to be here for that one.
as a recent father of a second born.
Yeah,
Congrats.
he's a father twice over.
So, Dadcast.
We got this.
Yeah, exactly.
So it's also a
Dadcast.
power hour. No, I'm kidding.
Yeah, that's a different one. That's
Oh, no,
comes
you'll
before.
get there. So no more questions.
Nothing new
Yeah.
that's popped up yet.
So shout out to everyone that's watching now. We have good live feedback. But
We
now
had 8 viewers. Can we get that to 16? Can we get that to 16?
it's all right. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna hop into we have a main discussion that we want to talk about, and there's a Draft Magazine article we'll get to in a second. But how this affects us locally, we're gonna get to right now because it is very sad because a lot of the beer that we've gotten for this podcast has come from this place that has recently closed, and it does stink. Unfortunately, everybody, the Three Brothers Marketplace in Exeter has closed.
I love that the pop-up ad is
I hate this.
killing us right now.
And I don't want to refresh because it's got to give me the 3-click warning.
Oh,
that all
well, no, I think
fucking
the same cookie. I think will stay. So
the same cookie will stay.
Yeah, I think you can
let me
refresh.
just write that down as a show.
so you're good.
There we go.
You're good. You're good.
But yeah, so the Lexi's Joint, the awesome burger place.
No
that's-
hate on Lexi's in this
No,
case.
not at all. But so it's kind of it kind of goes two ways. So Three Brothers Marketplace, great beer store, awesome sandwiches in Exeter, New Hampshire. Been open for about 2.5 years. Has decided to shut down because they want to kind of go do other things.
Well, I think that's a key piece to note. They want to shut.
Right.
This is
There-
not.
there's no
they're not
reason
full-
behind it. Yes.
Maybe there is. They haven't let on.
Yeah.
But
So according to this article that we have in the show notes, and you can find these out later. But a few of the brothers wanted to go another way, and they didn't see it fit to either sell the same concept to someone else or continue it. So they're shutting this one down. But fortunately, Lexi's Test Kitchen, which was right across the street in the same-ish area in Exeter, is just going to turn this into a Lexi's, which it can be. It sounds like a great idea. Only last year did Three Brothers put draft lines in the sandwich shop. They had great drafts, great beers. So hopefully that kind of keeps the same thing going. We don't know how it's going to be, but
And these guys are young too. They've got their lives ahead of them. They did this. They did it well.
Exactly.
I mean, they did it better than a lot of people
Yeah.
do this kind of thing. But they just decided that and that's another thing. Starting a business with 3 people.
yeah.
You all have to really be on the same page. To continue for a long term like that. And like I said, they're young and they've got their lives in front of them and want to explore other things. And if they're in a place to do that, then do it.
No, and it's good that they're able to do it on their own terms. It's not like they let the partnership fizzle into lawsuits and fights and all that kind of stuff.
But yeah,
So-
my only gripes from me are selfish. It's nice to have so the beer store that's right near me, Newfields Country Store, has great beer, and I suggest anyone go to their local store to see what beer they have because you'd be surprised what distributors get to these small stores.
that's where you can find some of the hidden gems.
Definitely, and
because nobody thinks to go there.
Yeah, and it's not rare. It's just like, oh god, I didn't know I can get like the newest Stoneface across the street. Like that's cool.
Garrison Cities.
Yeah,
one
definitely.
one of the 6 places that they
And they said like they buy them, like they keep buying them. But the Three Brothers, it was very boutique. It was very specific. Like they would post every time they had a new beer. It was nice. It just sucks that they're gone. But and they close quick. And as someone that doesn't do Facebook a lot, I found out via someone else who read that it was 2 weeks ago and not.
Are you tearing up?
Yeah,
It's serious.
I'm
It
trying
sounds
to
like
get,
you're tearing up.
I'm also trying to burp out my Locos burrito, but I would say if there was a second best in the area besides Newfield's Country Store, Newfield General Store, which is great, still the king of Seacoast Beer Store is Prost.
Yep.
They're reigning kings. I like that store a lot when I can get there. It's a little far for me, but again, I'm usually in the area of Spruce Creek in Kittery.
Yep.
So
that just I'll throw another little side topic that just came to mind here is
Yeah.
let's talk about the hardship of Seacoast, New Hampshire beer stores.
what's the deal with?
Like, how many have closed, not been able to survive? I mean,
I'm thinking I have two instantly.
is it the proximity to Maine where you can get so much better? Is it New Hampshire's restrictive laws that make it harder?
I won't comment on specific.
I'm being general here.
No. But unfortunately, for the two that I'm thinking of, they closed for other reasons. But I don't know if they would have survived with the stores had they still been open.
Okay.
So the craft beer cellar and the top shelf brews.
Yep. Those were the first
Great.
two that came
I mean,
to mind. Is it?
There's no reason why craft beer cellar couldn't have done better.
Well, I think
Especially
their
being a
location
chain
was
concept,
their location was probably their biggest problem, in my opinion.
But so there's no way with all of that. But that's again me trying to research as to how those franchises are run, and I don't know that. But that was open before Prost. That was open before Spruce Creek. But now that Spruce Creek's there, it's king. I mean, and also you need to realize that as odd and as interesting a store as Gary's is, it's still a great store for a lot of people. They won't go anywhere else.
Gary's a crapshoot a lot of times.
Definitely.
You're either going to find stuff that's
Absolutely.
the freshest of the fresh stuff that you weren't expecting, or you have to go dig in the old back room.
Which for a lot of breweries and distributors, it sucks because they get a lot of complaints about the beers they get from that particular place. I'm only speaking from things I've heard, but it's kind of like if it ain't broke, don't fix it. If people go to Gary's, they're not going to go anywhere else.
I'd rather go to Seabrook and go to the Cigarette City there.
I've never been.
Oh, see,
I've always heard about that place.
I used to work right down the street, and it looks literally like a bulk cigarette place, but they've always had amazing beer.
Yeah,
as an option.
and that, I mean, and they would be like first on the list to get like Bourbon County and KBS. Like they would always, that name would always come up.
They don't advertise or anything. They're not trying to push that. Oh, we got an allotment of this or that. You just go in and you get, and they just expanded to like double the size. So they're sort of been my go-to for a long time.
Do you have any good go-to spots by you?
Well, similar to Cigarette City, we've got kind of a secret spot that formerly was Cigarette City, and then a couple of brothers took it over and really expanded the craft beer part of it, and now it's called Shiva Mart. And
Oh, sure. Yeah.
and it's in Somersworth, and it is like, I don't know, 15 coolers of craft beer and like great prices. And yeah, that's like my secret spot. When I they don't get a lot of stuff that's like, fresh off or like, like BCBS or anything like that, but they've got a lot. And if I don't really know what I want, that's a good spot.
Yeah.
Also in South Berwick, we've got Nature's Way, which does get the drops.
Every time you say like, oh, I got this foundation, I'm like, where? Oh, it must be Nature's Way.
Yeah.
Like
The only thing that they
got it.
lack, I mean, they're a great store.
It's also your Maine versus New Hampshire
Right,
stuff too.
absolutely.
Your Main stores are always your main border stores are always going to win.
But you're in a good spot to get both. Like you can kind of get the gauge of like who's
Yeah.
selling what and that. But it's
what they lack that you got at like a Prost or a Top Shelf is like a connection. There's nobody there, so you're
Right.
on your own when
Yeah.
you go in there. You just like kind of browse and then bang out.
yeah. So to not go way off topic, that is hats off and beer and beers in the air to ooh. Speaking of beers in the air, this
Just
one's for
letting
you.
know there's another one coming.
Yeah, this one's for you, Three Brothers. But yes, definitely it sucks that you're closing. But again, know when to fold them. You want to do other things, and hopefully you continue to be a positive impact on the beer scene because it was great. Sucks. All right, I'll stop crying. No, so going from one beer store closing to a brewery closing, this is kind of a big deal because we
Big deal, actually.
the last time I was there was with you and crew after the Pineland Farms. That's how long ago that was.
No, we were there after 100. After a 100
Oh,
screening.
did we go there? Okay,
Yeah.
jeez. Yeah, so the last time I was there was then, which was a couple years ago, and Ebenezer's Brew Pub in Brunswick.
Closed.
Jeff, do you want to take over this? I'll just put this on the old screen here.
Yeah, so I don't even know when I mean, it was this weekend I discovered it or how I even came across it. But I think it was just a week or two ago, you and I were talking to our friend Chuck. He was texting us up in Maine, where should I go? And we were like, here's some places. Oh, and check out Ebenezer's Brew Pub, formerly known as Lion's Pride, for those of you that knew it in those earlier days. Home of Lively Brewing, named for Chris Lively, the owner. They apparently closed on, I want to say, like August 3rd, I guess. And the only articles I think we saw, I think there was something from the Press Herald that an employee was the one that said they've closed. So there was no no official announcement, no nothing. I was blown away. Like I just couldn't believe it. I did come across on the full Ebenezer's Facebook page a comment from Ebenezer's that they were refocusing on the main location and that they would be back. I don't.
That's interesting.
I don't know what the context of back there, back in general. I mean, my understanding that the Lively Brewing is in the building. Like if you're closed and your brewing equipment is there, what are you doing with it? So that leads into what Ben sort of discovered is that they're for sale.
Yeah,
like there's apparently a website where you can sell breweries, which we can talk about separately.
So Ben tosses this website, which is it's bizquest.com, but you can use this to search brewery or search any business that's for sale, particularly breweries. We did a search, and you can find this, and there's a Ebenezer Brew Pub for sale right here, and they're selling it for a hot $255,000. So
$250,000.
$250,000.
Let's get the GoFundMe started, folks.
But it even lists out what the gross revenue is, the cash flow, things like that. So I didn't dig too much into this website as to what this does, but it's literally brewery for sale.
The biggest thing that gets my eye right there, scroll down to the inventory, $7,500.
So they're running out.
I guess the other question is, but my biggest thing too would be, so those of you that remember it as a Lion's Pride knew that it was sort of like an Ebenezer's East, where they had 30 taps of all kinds of super rare, awesome Belgian beers. I assume none of that's still there.
No.
That must have been transferred.
What about the tap handles? Huh?
Well, the glass.
Those are good.
Actually,
I've
I got some pictures I'll send you for the show notes from when I was there.
Awesome.
But $7,500, like what's left? And I guess if you sort of read the article in the Press Herald that talks about how their production was cut in half between 2015 and 2016, why? I guess they had the name recognition. I mean, Ebenezer's is the greatest beer bar in the world, according to the sign above the original location.
It was interesting too because I don't know. It's tough for beer fans to understand what it's like for someone that's brand new to Ebenezer's Pub to understand what it's like. But when Ebenezer's Pub came, that's when Lively Brewing Company came. So no one, I don't know how apparent it was when we were there if we knew that there was a brewery in-house. I mean, the tanks are right there, but I don't know if it was made apparent that it's an Ebenezer's product, but there's also a brewery here, and here's some of their beer.
Yeah, so I'll give you my.
Real quick, with some big name behind it, because Mike LaCharity, the guy that was the head brewer of Lively Brewing, co-brewed Baxter.
Yep.
Left Baxter before it got big to do this. So I don't know what happened here. He was also doing some of the things on the side. He would do. He was part of a company that would help set up breweries with their tanks.
Yeah, and I
things
think
that.
Wasn't he part of the company that maybe sold them some of their tanks too? I think. Yeah. And I think he left and came back too. If I recall, I think he was with them and then left, came back. All that kind of stuff.
It's just nice to see. It's nice to know that kind of backstory. Not that it means anything to what this is, but it's cool to know where someone came from. To know that he left one of the biggest breweries in Maine. Still, you don't hear much from them now, Baxter. but they're there. They're on cruise control.
One thing, first of all,
Yeah.
I don't think the image of what we're drinking is on the screen. Is that because we have the website
Oh,
on?
no, you took it down while I changed it.
No. I switched right here.
Oh, okay. Because somebody asked.
Right there.
Somebody asked what
Oh,
we're drinking.
yes,
That's why.
so-
I just
great.
I wanted to cover
Solid
that.
question. So
No,
what are we drinking? Go. Go nuts.
Yes. Okay. So where's the can? I need to. Oh, it's up there on the screen. So
Yeah, the can's right there. They can see it.
I can't. I'm blind. It looks like it's red. So we have Great Rhythm Hi-Fi right
Yeah.
now. It is their juicy IPA. I think was the description they give.
It's
to
one
this
of their
One
seven.
of several juicy IPAs.
Yeah, they're the Trillium of New Hampshire, or the Bissell of New Hampshire, or the Alchemist
It's still
of New Hampshire,
yeah,
whatever you want to call
good.
it.
What's the what are we rocking for ABV? It looks like 6,
6.8.
6.8.
Minimalist label, as those you can now see on there on the screen there.
And you're so for local fans that are listening or watching, Train Break.
Train break.
So we've also been
Definitely on the thing.
all right. We've been told you can.
It's me. My mic's
Yeah.
right out the window.
We've been told you can't hear the train,
Yeah,
but
definitely.
hopefully you can hear the train.
So again, for little known facts for the locals, they're going to start distributing some of those cans and kegs out.
Okay.
Like, so you used to
Thus
be
far, cans have only been
Resonation.
okay, and they're the 12 ounce. They do
right.
12.
Yeah, so those you can find in other places, but I think like specialty beer stores you can find the. I'm not sure specifically what beers, but those yes. So back to Lively, and any final words on that? I mean, if you want, the link
So-
will be in the show notes. You can go buy
So
it if
I'll
you
give
want.
you-
Yeah, we'll link you to buy it.
I'll give you my last word on this.
Yeah.
The first time I was there was actually with Anthony Cormier, future guest, who's been
Yes.
commenting extensively. I think he's doing his research on us.
It's like, who the fuck are these guys?
Yeah.
These guys know too much.
I was up there with him on a weekday when it was Lions Pride, and it was dead.
Yeah,
but
almost always dead.
Yeah, the bartender was super friendly, super knowledgeable. And again, that's when they had 30 awesome beers on tap. They had Panapot Wild on tap actually that day.
Yes.
Like, which is an amazing beer. It's so amazing they wouldn't even give you a sample of it. And if it's that good that they're like, no, you just got to fucking buy it, it's got to be good.
Wow.
This is going to lead me, not to interject, but
Get in.
I'm interjecting. A conversation needs to be had about the decline of. We've broached this slightly before, but the decline of imports.
Yep.
And
Yes.
places like that used to just host that. It was like being in a European beer
Yep.
bar.
So a
you
great
know?
conversation will be for our future guest Nick Evans.
Yes.
Because he was just at the Shelton Brothers the festival in Atlanta.
Yes.
So when he comes in here, like this
it's 80% imports. Yeah.
this fledgling is it 12? Wait, is it 12% imports as a company? but
Oh,
you're
yeah.
saying-
Yeah.
Oh, but
Ooh,
you're
yeah.
saying-
Yeah. No, that festival is 80% imports. But
No,
yes.
but it's true though because last night I was at York River Landing. Speaking of Nick Evans, and I had for the first time in a while a Peche Mortel from Dieu de
Amazing.
Sil. Like nitro, yes, get in there. But I mean they'll have that because that's where it is. But you're right, like.
But I remember, like,
But
you
who-
used to
who
go to
like it?
you used to go to Julio's, and that you would just like shop the import aisle.
Oh, yeah.
or where our craft beer
Yeah.
places before it was like you'd get your Stone, and then you'd find like these.
Well,
great,
and
like,
I guess,
German beers.
and I guess that maybe that's to the credit of the American
Oh,
craft
for sure,
beer
for
industry
sure.
that they're pushing them out.
But I feel like people who are now just coming into the craft scene are missing out on.
oh yeah,
like,
because
what-
Europe they're the original craft brewers.
Absolutely.
Like go talk to some of these guys. The Harpoon, the Harpoon founders, they went to Europe and discovered this great beer. Came back, founded Harpoon. New Belgium. I mean, Belgium is in the name of
Yeah.
the brewery. Like he went to Belgium and said, "This is great shit. Let me bring it back."
Yep.
So yes, I think that's a
But
that's a
they're like-
great point.
I guess we should be making East Coast IPA.
Oh, that's a 4-letter word
I'm
around
into it.
here. Brian
Yeah.
hates the East Coast IPA.
No, but
But
I mean-
my just to finish my point
Yeah, get in
on the Ebenezer's there was when I went and it was Lions Pride, and even though it was dead on a fucking Wednesday with me and a buddy drinking beer, it was awesome because it was they had such good service and great selection of beer. I talked it up and went back with my girlfriend a couple years later, and we got there and was like, oh, you only have your own beer on tap now? Like, oh, and we got a little bit of a cooler selection.
It was only 3 for a
why,
while.
Yeah, and
Jeez.
why are your 25 taps empty? Like, it was a big downer. And I think I'm pretty sure I said this to you when we suggested it to Chuck. I think I even said it to Chuck, like, hey, it was better when it was Lions Pride.
It's true.
It's okay
Right.
now.
But it's still, I mean, and it wasn't, but I didn't suggest it in a way where it was, go here, it's the only thing that's there. I really liked when we went. Like I liked that place, and but
I never
but-
didn't like it. but-
Right, but I'm also the guy that can find something out of nothing, and in hopes that those 3 taps that are not
Yeah.
Lion or that are not their beer are going to be awesome. Because
to Chris Lively's credit, he's a great hype man. Like he knows how to talk. Those
Oh,
beers.
yeah.
we should probably just go do a show up there, huh?
Well, this weekend, just another plug.
Oh, true. Yeah.
This weekend at Ebenezer's is their annual Belgian Beer Fest. Tonight, actually, probably happening right now.
On a fucking Thursday.
Is their it's that big. It is their Belgian beer dinner. It's like $215 a head. They bring in like all these great chefs, and it's the beers
the
included.
bottle share to the gods.
Yeah, and then Saturday is their Night of the Great Thirst, which is probably the greatest fucking name ever for anything. It is their lambic event. It's literally all lambics. I don't know, like it costs $20, I think, to just like walk in the door and be with people who are drinking these great beers, and then you have to buy the beers. Which, if you've never been to Ebenezer's in Lovell, Maine, you have to go. Brian has never been.
Never been. You've been.
Oh God,
We're
That-
taking him.
that-
We're taking him.
burger with a camembert.
Oh, the mule frites like are
Listen.
everything's fantastic.
I don't want to get into this conversation right now, but I wonder how many people waiting in line at Trillium Treehouse in Bissell know even about Ebenezer's.
Right.
Probably not.
Because
not
those beers aren't there.
Imports. It's import
it
heavy.
is. It is. It's almost all imports. Yeah.
God, I don't like shitting on those people because I am also like I like those breweries, but it's a constant theme in these shows where I go back to those people waiting in line.
The funny thing about Ebenezer's is that I don't know if I've gotten a personal tour of the cellar or if I've just dreamed that I have. And I feel like I see it so strongly in my mind that I have, but I'm not 100% sure.
You wake
that
up
I'm not
and
just
you're
making
like,
it all up.
Best dream ever.
It may be the other intoxicants that are present in the cellar.
10-4.
But no, I'll say this too. I would rather go about like lines at Trillium. This I would rather go to a world class beer bar than a world class brewery if I had to choose one, because you're going to get such a wider experience at a world class beer bar. Like
Absolutely.
a world class brewery probably doesn't have all their beer on tap all at once, or can't serve it all to you anyway. So maybe they do make the variety that you
Ooh,
can
you
get.
Todd Mott? Jesus.
Well,
Not
but
everyone
even,
can be
but
Todd
even,
Mott.
even Todd Mott doesn't have them all on at the same time. Go to a world class beer bar, and you're guaranteed to get an amazing variety.
Absolutely.
And I'd rather do that any day. And that's why a lot of when I go visit places, I do visit breweries, but I also seek out where's their best bar, the best beer bar.
Moral of the story here. Because Ebenezer's Brew Pub is closed doesn't mean Ebenezer's is closed. So get up
Correct.
there. So go there.
Go
Lovell,
there.
Maine. So I'll see you there because I'll
If
be.
you think you're lost, you're almost there.
You're there.
Yeah, there is no cell service, so forget
Yeah.
about Untapped. All right?
So download the map ahead of time. You can do that in these apps these days. Huh?
Real quick, my favorite thing about Ebenezer's is that it's on a golf course. So you get like these like retired couples who come in and they're like, Sam Adams.
Oh,
yes. That's my favorite. Like even being at like the brewery downstairs, people walk in, they're like, I'm leaving.
The best part too is there's like every time I've ever been there, half the bar is always locals, and no offense to anybody, they
Offense.
look like a Budweiser crowd, but they are super knowledgeable and super interested in what they have to offer there. Chris greets them all by name. They all know him, and they're all about it. And so kudos to what Ebenezer's is doing for their own town, because you would not expect the people to be that.
Did they
that
have,
experienced.
before we go on to the main topic, and we got to get there soon? Were we talking with Tom Mott tonight about? Did he have anything to do with K-Bert Lively or no?
No, but we were talking about there because Todd's going away party at the Portsmouth Brewery.
Yes.
They presented him, and if Anthony's still watching, he can probably remember exactly what they presented him with a wooden box that had some beer in it.
Oh,
and that beer
Lively did.
The staff did.
Okay.
And Anthony Cormier was the one who like collected the money and went up and bought it from Chris Lively.
All the money.
And they presented it to Todd, and it was a very specific selection of beer. And I've also heard rumors.
What was in there?
I don't remember. There
Oh,
was there was
old course.
there was a
Light.
Cantillon like
home, he's like,
Vinegrone. I remember there was a Cantillon Vinegrone in it. That was it. Other than that, I don't remember.
All right.
But I heard rumors that Chris Lively, who is friends with Todd Mott, has like bottles of Kate that are special. Like they've been aged in something, or like he's got the super secret bottles of Kate that don't exist.
My fantasy dream is like there was a special, 5-gallon keg that's a different Kate the Great that anyone has had, and like, oh, here it is. in 2020. Like, oh sure,
Let's put it this way: if it exists, Chris Lively has it in his basement.
I thought you were gonna say if it exists,
Has or
we'll
had.
find it.
If it no, yeah,
We are the
will-
beer hunters.
We will find it
All right.
at Ebenezer's.
Damn it! All right, is that their slogan? You'll find it at Ebenezer's.
You know what? No, I hope it isn't because I don't want them to draw more people in because it's not a big place. Like it's 3-4 times the size of this room. Like it's not a huge place. They've got a big outdoors, but yeah, I don't want a lot of people there.
No,
I don't.
Same days. So those are local examples of what we're about to talk about. I know we have another beer from Tributary we should probably get into before we get real into this conversation.
Sure.
So in the meantime, I will quickly give shout outs to people who have given comments so far as Jeff opens up a growler. He can hear me because we're on the same thing. Shout out to Kathy, Amanda, Wesley, Anthony.
Honestly, Wes, we've not answered any of your questions.
No,
but
we'll get to
will.
it at the end
We
for
will.
sure in our after show. Dan and Renee and Chuck, of course, our biggest critic. Because what Jeff and I did before this was we just live broadcast where we're getting these beers from because we need to get beer for the podcast, and what better way than just to show you where we're going. And Chuck noticed that Jeff introduced himself before introducing me, which is bullshit. And Let's Talk Beer, it should be at least me first.
But can I say something that wasn't
Get in
caught
there.
on camera?
I think it was caught on camera.
No, when you insisted on pointing the camera more, get more yourself in that. You said get more of yourself
Because
with that.
the camera gets a couple of chins. I need to just get the
You need the
no
beard.
yeah.
You need
I
to
know.
grow a beard.
But yeah, so he caught the faux pas that all of a sudden it's Jeff's show. Like, hey, who's the guest here? Kidding. All right, listen. What do we got
I'm the
going on
guest.
here?
We have the Tributary Blueberry, which I am happy to say they did not steal the Blueberry name from the P Brew.
Wasn't that Todd's name though?
I don't. Who knows? It's fantastic. We actually were there when Todd was stocking the growler fridge, and we happened to be talking to my good buddy Jed, who
Shout out
will
to
give a shout
Jed.
out to Jed.
Big
Jed,
time.
awesome conversation. We actually want to have you
I love
on
how
the
you,
show.
I love how you introduced the shout out. We're gonna give a shout out to Jed. All right, Jed, shout out.
Here it is.
What up,
Yeah,
Jed?
we
Slayed it.
want to get you on to talk not about beer, but just about podcasting
Absolutely,
in general.
absolutely.
And honestly, we talk about beer too because we know you from a bar. But while we were there talking with Jed about some Kate the Great and some K Burt and some other things, Todd happened to overhear us, and we got into this conversation.
You increased the volume of the conversation when
No,
Todd came around us.
No, the beer that I was drinking increased the volume.
Oh, I didn't know
Tabor
Todd
would
not.
love some.
Let's be honest. You had to turn my mic down before this started because I was too loud. I get loud.
It is a little bit lower than us right now.
But you know, we started talking about beer, and I think the blueberry came up somehow. I don't even know how it came up. And you know, Todd was going on and on about all the other blueberries and all the other other flavors that don't taste
A lot of
real.
big words, yeah.
And he threw out it's a pale ale with blueberries, and that's the key.
Beer,
It's
beer
not
first, you turds.
correct.
Beer first.
If you took the blueberries out of this beer, I guarantee you it would be
Solid.
just as drinkable
Yeah.
as what we're drinking right here. This is not a blueberry beer. This is
Yeah.
a pale ale with
And
blueberries.
he didn't make mention to just like the juice of blueberry. It was like the entire blueberry from the skin to everything. Like you're gonna get that in this beer, and it's a good
yeah,
it's
he
a good
said
color.
like 210 pounds or
You can talk about it. You can talk about it all you want.
Oh, I
But,
gotta pour it,
I don't.
yeah.
I see nothing going on in here.
How did I end up as the beer bitch?
You're
I'm
right,
the new
'cause
guy.
you
Yeah.
get the thing there. Oh, absolutely.
Oh, this growler's not going to fit in the beer hood, by the way.
It might.
I'll shove it.
Or put it like right in front of the camera. So the main topic of discussion tonight, and I'm sorry it took us so long to get there, but we're getting there.
48 minutes in.
No, but we started.
We finally navigated
we've
to the meat
danced
of it.
So no.
danced around
So
it.
we started it with the Three Brothers closing. There is I'm not going to call it an epidemic or a surge or whatever. Even though I think the show notes I called it a recent surge, but there is a noticeable incline of breweries closing. And Draft Magazine had a great article. It's on the screen now for those that are watching. I'm going to go in and out of it because I have my own notes. But the Draft Magazine article is called "This Is Why My Brewery Shut Down." And they interviewed 3 brewmasters from recently closed breweries and kind of got their feedback as to why they shut down. And not to sound clickbaity, but you'll be surprised by their results. No, they had different answers. There wasn't one reason behind this. All of them, yeah. So we're kind of gonna piecemeal this because we all three of us have our own kind of notes on this, but I'm gonna go ahead and switch away from this because I have my own notes that are. Oh wait, you want to see this first though? Oh, that's fine. Look at that tributary. It's in the screen. Nailed it. So there's some stats right up front of breweries closing that I thought were that were interesting to the topic. The Brewers Association, we mentioned them before, they're reporting that the craft beer sales had grown 6.2%, which is less than half the growth the year prior. So
which only went up and up and up in
Yeah.
in year over year.
Yep. So and then kind of on the opposite end, 97 craft brewers shut down last year, and they're seeing an average of 3.3% of those breweries year over year shutting down. So we're gaining a lot of breweries. There's no question that the breweries are increasing, but
So it's a net gain.
net gain, yes. So but there's a noticeable 97 of the. Did we mention how many craft breweries are here?
Is there like 2,500?
More, yeah. At least I would say
I
three
forget
grandish.
what the total was.
So they ended up they talked to three brewers. The first brewer they talked to was Alejandro Brown, founder of Big Al Brewing in Seattle, Washington. They opened in August of 2008 and they closed just this past January. And they go
He
through.
says this is why my brewery closed because the name was terrible.
Yeah, I don't
Big
think
Al.
that's a section.
Who's Big Al? Oh, it's me. Oh, well, I gotta get out of here. But
Come
so,
on down to Big Al's Brewery.
Just over 5,000 craft breweries in America.
I love how you were not even half. Like,
But honestly, if you looked at this chart, which I'll send you,
it just goes credit straight up.
Yes.
Jesus. So Alejandro's couple of highlights of what he says. Ultimately, what led me to close the doors was flattened growth, stagnant growth. I watched the potential for growth dry out. So a lot of growth there.
or lack thereof.
or lack thereof. A lot of growth talk. He was the 86th brewer in the States, but now he was seeing kind of a increase in brewers, which resulted in him getting less kegs in bars. So this is an example of a brewery that wanted to be in bars, which not a lot of breweries around us kind of do that. So we have Earth Eagle Liar's Bench. They have a beer in a bar here and there.
Yep.
We have
They
a lot
self-distribute too, like whatever they can drive
right.
to.
So my question is, I wonder, do the brewers that want to be in bars, do they have a bigger hurdle than some of the smaller guys?
No, I mean, the shelf space is the same as tap lines, I guess. I mean, maybe there's not a one-to-one shelf to tap line, but you're facing the same problem, I guess. And I guess I would say they're maybe in a better position because most bars have less of a selection than stores, so you're forced to choose from a smaller mix. Like if I go into a store, I have to choose from 100 beers. If I go to any place other than the Thirsty Moose Portsmouth, I have to choose from 8 beers.
Right.
You know, so I guess I don't know, but maybe you got to get into those.
Yeah.
I don't know.
And so it looks like, at least in this situation, that because they were number 86th in Washington and now there's 330 plus breweries, they were kind of shaken out, but they didn't want to readjust to kind of bring people to them. They wanted to have the tap accounts at these bars, which if we had Sean Jansen here, that is a distributor, he could help us out with this, but I don't know if that's how that works. Is you can't just say push my beer because I'm your only account. Distributors have a ton of accounts, and especially in Washington where there's infinite, it could be a problem.
Well, so the bigger thing too is I'm surprised there's only 330 brewers in Washington. That's more
In the whole state, that's actually a good call.
That's
Yeah.
actually more surprise to me because they're 6 times the size of New Hampshire. I mean, and Seattle is like a big brewing heaven. Like that's a bigger surprise to me than anything.
And what are we in the 200s now in New Hampshire?
We're getting there. Like I think we're near 70.
That's it.
I wonder. Actually,
So we're not where these guys were in
this-
2008.
apparently this data I have doesn't show it by state.
So Watts, what do you think? So if you were to open a brewery, would you focus on? This is a way hypothetical, but would you
Yeah.
focus on is bar accounts important, or would you want?
It's a super loaded question. It really
Yeah.
depends on, people open a brewery. Look at Great Rhythm. They opened up, contract brewed strictly for distribution,
Sure.
not to have like, a tap room at that time when they were doing it. But then you have like other places, take your 7 settlements, take your Garrison City, which are going to focus 90% on in-house bringing people to you.
Yeah.
And it's just up to you, like what your business plan is. And I'm sure there's pros and cons and money to be made in either way. But in either case, you're gonna do things right and you're gonna do things wrong that drive those kind of sales. But I feel like when you go into it, you really have to know what your game plan
Nailed
is
it.
when you're doing
Well,
it.
I
So
think also-
Alejandro says right there, boom, you have to have a plan. And
yep.
but it all depends on what your plan is, because Great Rhythm, as you mentioned, started out contract brewing, and what a lot of people like their facade, like their brewery that you walked in, you wouldn't know that they contract brewed, but I think they've been around since 2012.
Yeah, I
So,
remember
like, you
seeing
just
that they
don't-
used to be listed as a Portsmouth brewery.
And we
'cause
read a beer from them at the 2012 Beer Fest. They had a porter. They don't have a porter now, though. Like it's
No, yeah,
they're
I wish,
so
yeah,
old.
no, I
Yeah.
wish they did. And
Yeah.
let's also look at, so they're within walking distance of Liar's Bench, and Liar's Bench serves food, but not a lot, which enables them to serve full pints. Great Rhythm has a bigger location, I'll throw it out there, a nicer, like air quotes, as in like prettier
Yeah.
location. They still can't serve pints and stuff. Like they're
Right.
still.
I mean,
they're-
that's New Hampshire's fault. That's not obviously that's
no,
not their fault.
No, but is it?
but
But,
what
is
is
it?
their
Show.
fault? I wonder-
Show me another brewery in New Hampshire right now. Yes, the Nano Brewery license limited you to that to begin with.
Mm-hmm.
You had to offer food to get full pints. Show me another brewery with that license that isn't serving full pints or doing more with it. Name one.
It seems like everybody's goal when you enter the space, if you're only limited to having tasters, and I'm thinking of Garrison City in this case, your goal is to eventually get to that
Yes.
pint thing. And in their example, they threw 3 things out. You get a sandwich, you get a cheese board, you get some soup.
Yes.
And then from there, people started coming, and then they had to expand to a patio and expand to
So
a.
at least around here, the examples are Neighborhood, which a year or so ago added sandwiches and chili. Deciduous now has kind of the similar with charcuterie. But think about, let's go back to Trillium really quick, and then we'll keep moving on this article. Trillium, they had a brewery where you couldn't taste it. You get growlers and cans, and you get out of there.
Yeah.
That's how Treehouse started before they were in their second location. Now they're in their third. So it's kind of a different ball game. It's either word of mouth that gets foot in the door, or just if you couldn't taste a beer, it's
No, I agree. And obviously, being in that position of not being able to taste it is horrible.
buying it
and
off chance.
And I do applaud the fact that New Hampshire did start the whole Nano Brewery license there,
Yeah.
where you can serve at least a sample of everything you've got on, so somebody can hopefully buy something and take it away. That's great. But for a brewery like Great Rhythm that started off and built a fan base and it did the whole contract brew thing, and then got into their their dream location, there's enough space there for a kitchen. Like some of the things I think we're going to talk about in this article are people who make bad decisions, and I'm not saying Great Rhythm made a bad decision, but come on, like
So
where
You're not getting the repeat business other than to jump in there and grab some cans.
Yeah, we were here. We were there rather with some friends from New Jersey, and we took them around. We did Liar's Bench, and then we went there, and they were kind of like, "Oh, I can only get a sample." Like they were. First of all, a lot of other states don't have that same rules. They were sort of put off by it, and I was like, "Yeah, but you can, if you're a resident of Portsmouth, you can sign their petition they have on the counter to do something." Like, I know they want to open their like outdoor area and everything. Like, they seem to have like so many great ideas and all these great plans. Do something with them.
So some of those problems are, and it's on the reverse end, as in terms of you can either stay open and try to go with some of these rules, but in Big Al Brewing's comments here on the article, it says you got to know when to fold them, which I believe I have a few in mind in this state, for example, that I believe should know that it's time.
It's over.
It's time.
Yep.
But
Specifically, who?
No, I can't say that. And actually,
I'm just
and-
kidding.
no. and
So that
someone,
actually,
someone asked
we'll,
the
we'll
question.
dive back. That's another question actually. So Drew,
Great rhythm.
good
No.
friend of mine,
we were just talking about that.
asked that question,
Not at all.
and we're gonna dance around that. And I think that
No.
Chuck actually asked that. I'm not saying we're gonna dance around it, but I'm not gonna throw somebody under the bus. We're not gonna do that right
No,
now.
so but I
Still
believe,
waiting for that
I believe,
sponsorship money. So
I know,
we'll take
so-
it.
yeah,
while
yeah,
you're
we'll
still
wait,
open.
yeah. But I believe the advice of you need to know when to fold them is almost as important as you need to know why you're starting.
yes,
It goes hand in hand. So
which I think will lead into the next
absolutely, yeah.
the next brewery.
So yeah, but I apologize to whoever asked that question. We're not going to get into specifics now, but we will get into
But-
predictions maybe at the end.
Well, also honestly, any of you that asked that question know us personally.
Yeah.
Well, that's a bar. That's bar.
You've probably
talk.
heard me say it.
That's yeah. Oh no, we've all said it, but that's a bar talk.
So now we're
conversation.
gonna switch over to Ken Lewis. Ken Lewis, owner of New Riff Distilling and its brewery offshoot, which is 8 Ball, which they use the 8 instead of the G in the 8, which is
stupid.
interesting. In Bellevue, Kentucky. So they ended up starting a microbrewery to supply the wort for their distilling,
Which they had already had. So they already had the distillery.
yeah.
And
Which I thought so they would brew beer, and if that didn't work, they just start distilling that.
I mean, the what you start with distilling is very similar to wort. So
And
it
this
seems like an awfully lot of work, though.
And this takes me a couple times to read this though, because they were a distillery first. So now knowing where they're coming from, I don't know if they know the beer industry as much as this distilling industry. I could be completely wrong in that aspect, but he believes that it says, quote, "I absolutely think a shakeout is coming. I do not believe that you can be anywhere in the middle in terms of size. You have to be small, local, owner-operator with minimal distribution, or you need to be really big and able to afford the dramatic
That's the key.
marketing efforts that are going to be necessary in the upcoming battle for shelf space."
That's the key.
So this is coming from a guy that is not from the industry, but understands kind of like the alcohol industry. So he's from distilling, which in Kentucky, I bet is a different game. Like being a distiller in Kentucky must be like being a craft brewer in New Hampshire, like
Or craft brewer in Denver or
That's true, too.
something.
Yeah.
Like
That's a way better example. Yeah,
I mean,
exactly.
Jack Daniels is there absolutely.
So, right.
But I think that sentiment they throw out there is the key. It's big beer is not going away. Like we'll just put it out there. I mean, just
If anything, making some gains.
By
they're-
picking up people,
I
or-
think they're back.
yeah.
They're back in that. They're back in the upswing
exactly.
there. And the small guys aren't either. The people where you have to choose to go there, the liars benches, those kind of places where you go in and you drink their beer there, and you interact with the brewer. How many times you've been to liars bench when Dane is not there?
Yeah,
Almost never.
I know.
And if he's not there, Kieran is there. So
Someone's- watchful eye.
and when we walked in today, there were other brewers there.
Yeah.
Charlie was there
from other
from
breweries.
other breweries. So that tells you right there they're making a good product. When they have that smaller space, they can charge a premium price. They can, hopefully cover their expenses. Liars Bench isn't a palace of a facility, but it's cool. Like it's the place I want to go drink beer, and so they keep their expenses low. They're the ones that are going to survive, and the big beer. It's those middle tier guys, and I hate to say it, I even want to say that like the Boston Beer and even the New Belgium people are floating in that middle ground potentially, where they could struggle because you look at the facilities that New Belgium has to pay for. If they just threw away half their lines, they got rid of Shift and some of their other like big time regular
and
beers to compete in the marketplace.
I
So,
just saw recently, speaking of New Belgium real quick, that they're starting to do, they're releasing a Ranger, but it's not Ranger IPA. It's like a take on it. So they're trying, the head of all these beers that they've chopped off are starting to come back. In some form.
But I think they're in that area
Just
where
like,
they're
shitty movies
squeezed.
coming back.
There's no new ideas. There's only reinvented
But
ones.
I love the comment here, and so we've heard the speaking about shelf space, the term beer wars is out there too, where the big guys taking over the shelf space and the skew, all that. But he calls it Skewmageddon, which I love.
Oh, great Scott band.
Yeah.
Skewmageddon's a great Scott. Yeah, I love their song Sellout.
Is Bruce Willis going to come save us from Skewmageddon?
No, it's actually Ben Affleck. Spoiler alert.
Oh God! Is there going to be an Aerosmith song?
Absolutely. For sure will be. So that's his. And again, he reiterates again that there's a very bright future for small local breweries, dismal future for anyone else. That's an interesting thing, especially we're seeing in New Hampshire, even though we don't have a lot of breweries in comparison to like Portland or Denver, we're seeing a lot of smaller breweries take distribution. So a lot of breweries are taking distribution to get on shelves and in bars and restaurants here. So it'll be interesting to see how those shake out. I don't think that's a universal comment for everywhere. I believe that to be very specific to like high traffic beer areas.
Yep.
I don't know.
There's an interesting comment from Renee
Yeah, what do we
on,
got?
Just seeing
on the
that.
feed there,
Great comment.
where she said she mentioned it to you once before, Brian. Thanks for not bringing. This is my comment. Thanks for not bringing it up.
All right. Let me know. Let me know. It's back to her comment. All right?
This is back to her.
All right, okay, good.
Instead of the few that really should close in the area, I think they should merge. They each do one thing well, but they don't do all things well. So that's an interesting.
That'd be. I mean,
So it's an interesting thought.
That never even crossed my mind before.
That's
but
cool.
a great
Yeah.
idea.
Well, and so I guess that even goes into not even just like the economics of the beer world, but like business in general, like small businesses merging. Like what's the cost involved in that? Can they even do that? The logistics of actually making that work. How do you when you
right.
they probably all have some investors here and
it's-
there and
in some weird kind of insane weird way, it happens already, both in breweries helping each other out anyway. I've learned that first from Allagash as being like the best friend you can have in a Portland brewery. They'll lend you some things. Like there's good collaboration there, but you also see a lot of brewers moving from Blue Lobster to work at Deciduous, moving from Porcelain Brewery to work at Tributary. So there's that already happening without actually merging. But I love the idea.
But I
if,
think
if two breweries are at one end or the other, let's just bring it in.
and I bet you that's not something that's thought of very often, because I think
It's true.
we all both
There's
sort of
only
look
one
at each
way
other
out.
like
Yeah.
we
it's a pretty good-
didn't
yeah.
think of that. So
Thanks
no,
for
that-
thanks for
hats
that
off for
comment.
Renee.
yeah,
Jeez,
that's probably the best comment. Even
Well, we're
better
shut-
than
we're shutting the
you know.
show down.
We got a new host here, Renee. You're in.
All right, sorry, Ben. I mean, Jeff.
I thought Ben was the guest.
Absolutely. Who's the guest here?
Renee actually asked another question about what.
sure.
What she was asking about the website that we were talking about before, but I'm not sure which one she was. If you want to clarify that, Renee, in the comments,
And we'll also
spread
add
that way.
all the websites to the show notes too.
Absolutely. Oh, yeah. They're
case.
they're there. Yes. So the final brewer that was talked to is a very interesting case, and I'm not going to read the whole thing, but I encourage you, if you're listening, to go to the show notes and click on this link, because this is a very different case that we don't see a lot around here, at least. But anyway, they talked to Richard Erickson of River Mile 38 Brewing in Washington. Very similar in that they were one of the first-ish brewers to open in the state, but their situation was very unique, as they say. They didn't have profit or growing in mind. They just were home brewers and wanted to make beer for friends. He knew two of his friends were home brewers. He talked to about 12 other people and said, let's open up a brewery and see if we can bring tourists in. And they were about mid-70s. So
in age.
Yeah.
So they had too much retirement money.
Yeah,
and-
so that's what it was, and they realized, or they realized in their own words. I don't say I agree with this quite, but they said this needs to be owned by younger people. They go on to say that it needs the guys who have the money are old, but they're not going to be the ones doing the brewing. Which I believe, if that was said publicly to a lot of brewers, they'd be like, "Fuck this guy." Like we can.
Well, I mean, brewing's
so-
backbreaking hard work. Brewing is not.
Right. But also, it seems like that's more of an excuse than a solution. Like I don't buy that. Not to say I know 70-year-old brewers.
No, I think it's a true statement. I think it reflects their. I think it reflects their lack of understanding of the industry they tried to buy into.
Absolutely. I'm
That's
with you
a
on
better
that.
way.
Hey, this
Yeah.
is what the kids are doing.
Totally.
Yeah. Ooh, we get some beer there, Gladys.
But so on the side that I like about this is kind of, if you're even thinking about opening a brewery, read this specific paragraph. But they said what we've found is that you need a salesman to go out to these bars and restaurants. No
What we
kidding.
found? It's pretty standard.
That's it.
you need to
Yeah.
sell your product.
What? Yeah.
Like what?
So I mean, and this happens with every brewery. Whether you're even if you have a distributor already, you as the brewer, not the brewer specifically, but a rep needs to be out there. If every brewery has a rep that goes out and does tastings, things like that, you might have a distributor that distributes that beer, but you as the brewery need to be out there representing your brand, whether it's be selling to tap handles at Thirsty Moose or 6-packs over at Prost. You need to be out there.
Well,
But it's interesting for someone like that to find that out. So I guess late in the game, or just not even thinking about it.
And you know what? I think it's interesting too. So they're obviously older folks. I would gather they were
About 70.
No, I would gather they're self-financed, and
Okay.
maybe had they had to go to a bank hat in hand asking for money
Yeah.
and present a business plan, they might have had somebody say, "Hey, how the hell are you going to sell this stuff?"
Right.
You know, like not a lot of products sell themselves,
Yeah.
and there might have been a time when beer sells itself, and there might still be some beers that do sell themselves, but yeah, you need to actually sell it.
So those are 3 accounts. Great article, Jeff. I appreciate you bringing that to the attention
and
because
I
it's
like-
like I mean.
I did not intend this to
Yeah.
be the topic of a show, but I think the fact that we've talked about breweries selling out, big breweries selling out,
It's
every week, like
Yeah, it
every
goes-
week.
yeah.
This is like my 5th week. I think we've talked about it every week. This is the unseen side of that, where Ballast Point can get bought. Not because they're in a struggle, but because they're worth something.
Yeah.
Lagunitas can get bought. There's people who are closing in the beer industry, which is something we've not talked about. And their point about only growing at 6.2%, they were doing double-digit growth. And they said that this is the first year that it was half last year. So last year it was 12, or 13, whatever. I guarantee you the year before that it was 20. The brakes have been put on this, and this is going to be a new regular topic, I think.
Yeah, and it's not that we don't. At least I don't. I'll speak for myself. I'm not looking for the bubble. I've talked to a lot of brewers a lot. Even when writing the book that I wrote years ago, the bubble wasn't a thought. I think it's just everyone kind of just going on their own path, not worrying about any sort of bubble, doing your own thing. And if the time comes where you either have to fold them or figure something out, you got to figure it out. Going back to one of the brewers mentioned that they didn't have enough money to expand. You need to either have that in your plan to like go forward. Like I know Baxter started out very small, Maine Brewing Company started out very small, but they now have these massive facilities. Money knows from Heritage Ave to Hayseed.
Yeah, and you know
Crazy.
what? Let's go back and let's look at a lot of the articles about all the big breweries selling out. Anchor recently, and especially everything they talk about.
I keep forgetting about Anchor. Jesus.
They all say we couldn't grow without a partner like this. Like, it's the same thing, only on a bigger scale. If you're already a national brewery, what's left? International. We couldn't do it without a partner on scale. And I still challenge that. Honestly, if you're telling me if Lagunitas can get $1 billion to sell them, they can go to a bank and get some fucking money to build an international brewery.
Well,
like
Stone,
come on.
like Stone did in Germany.
Look at
And Brooklyn is out in Europe or like London area.
But also look at Smutty Nose is in Europe.
Yes, yeah, they're in 23 states in Europe.
and Europe. Like, so
Yeah.
it obviously can be done. I think it's all about the plan. I'll go back to that comment. You need to have a plan, and that plan needs to be realistic.
Yeah.
And it needs to be, locally based. If you're a local brewery, you need to understand your local market. You need to sell to your local people. If you're a regional brewery, you need to be realistic about it. And I think too many people don't. They don't have a plan that's realistic. Because I can have any plan. I'm gonna go buy Ebenezer's Brew Pub tomorrow. That's my plan.
There's no right plan. There's no right plan. It's just you need to have. There are right plans.
The right plan
you
for you.
You need to pick,
It's the right.
You need to pick one.
It's the right plan for you.
Don't say I'm going to be the cornucopia of breweries. I'm going to be in bars. I'm going to be in stores. I'm going to have people come to me. It's like you can do that, but it's going to be tough. It's going to be a tough road.
Yeah,
so you need to get in there with a plan. I mean, you're listening to 3 experienced beer drinkers, but not
we're
owners.
gonna bring this article and these topics back up with the next brewers we have on the show. Like, as I think I mentioned I want to talk not even just about the beer of brewing.
Right.
I want to talk about the business of brewing, because I think that's what matters now. The beer, everybody makes great beer right now,
But
the business is the key.
Ben and I have brought this up even like on past Seacoast Beverage Lab podcasts with every brewer that we have on. Is like, if someone comes to you, asks you what you need to start a brewery, or like what do I have to do to start a brewery, what would you say? And the answer is usually like have a plan. Also have money behind it. You can't just go from home brew to business. I mean,
You can't expect the brewer to be the front of house operator.
but I also think, and there's breweries in this state too that look like they're very heavily invested money wise, but you need to look past that and like go to the beer. Like money, like you need money to open up a brewery. I think people need to understand that.
And I think we all know what a heavily like financed brewery looks like. We know
Absolutely,
what a brewery
right.
that has money
but,
looks
but,
like.
But you also need to see like, okay, sure, everything's nice, it looks great, but also like I'm not saying be sticklers on the beer, but like don't let something looking so fancy shade you from the beer that's being brewed behind there.
It's the counter argument to the you got to go out and sell it. You need your salesman to go sell it. Your product also needs to sell itself at a certain time. You need to be able to drink beer and enjoy it. People want to drink more of it.
Ben Watts, final thoughts on this article.
I mean, I feel like we're gonna need to have an Emmys style like montage, once a week of like
I will remember.
You. Here's the brews that are closed. But bubble seems to be such a touchy word, but in all facts, that's what it is. Like, there's only so much that the market can sustain, and we're seeing the tail end of that. Not to say that the craft industry as a whole or anything like that.
Yeah.
I really got to get up into this mic.
Get in there.
New to the studio.
Okay,
folks.
okay, boy.
So,
Oh boy, get out. Okay, back it up.
Yeah, no, we turn the main down a tad there, Skid Row.
Jeffed up in this place.
Oh,
So
Gain, not the dishwashing liquid. All right, go ahead.
I feel like at this point, in the craft beer industry as we've seen it so far, this is just par for the course.
Definitely.
It's going to happen. There's only so much that
Not everybody succeeds.
Right. And
it goes the same for restaurants. It goes the same for car dealerships. It goes the same for whatever.
I want to end the show. I forget who asked the question about who we think. There was a very specific question about who we think would close in our state. Can you pull that back up?
Yeah, Drew asked that question. Let me.
And then we have stuff that we're going to talk about in the after show on the video that I would love to end the audio podcast now. It's a nice concise moment to end it. And then if you are listening, you can go to the Facebook. I'm 70 years old. Yeah. Speaking of 70-year-old brewers,
you called it Facebook. That means you're not 70.
So we will. I want to answer this final question in a way that I think is good, and then we will talk about some other stuff on the after show for about a half hour or so, and finish these beers because we have some more beers. So someone asked a very specific.
Drew asked it. I'm trying to pull up the exact wording of it.
Yeah.
Of course, Facebook makes life difficult.
Oh, no way. But again, if you're watching live on Facebook, feel free to keep the questions going. We're going to answer them in a second after we end the audio podcast. But I want to end on this note because
here's this question here.
Oh boy, you get a little molasses in your mouth
oh,
there.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Knowing the topic is closing breweries, I would like to know what. What
are you, Foghorn Leghorn?
Get
this question out
No,
here.
I think he mistyped it.
All right.
What local breweries you think will survive? What local breweries you think will survive, sell out, or eventually close?
Okay, so I want to twist that question just because I don't think we should, even though we have our own personal ones that we think.
Yeah, that's
we
will bar talk that with you, definitely.
Absolutely, yeah. So if you see us in a bar, ask us after you buy us 7 drinks. But I want to go on. I want to take that question twisted a little bit, even though it's kind of a depressing ending question. Maybe we'll just talk about.
This is sort of a depressing. This is a depressing podcast.
Who's dying in the next?
Yeah.
No. So, when do you think the next? So, New Hampshire breweries have been kind of consistent. The only breweries that I can see that have ended recently, like Blue Lobster.
Yep.
There's another one that's like, oh, they're gone, or just names that have faded away. But do you think?
I think that's a bigger thing. I think there's some names are going to fade away.
So will we? When do you think we'll see a brewery in New Hampshire shut down? I can start. I mean, just as like here's what I'm looking for an answer
within the next year.
Is I believe by the end of the calendar year, a brewery will be closed. I don't know what, but I'm saying like. The way that this is going, I think a brewery's going to close by the end of the year.
Seacoast Brewery.
New Hampshire. New Hampshire.
Sure. Yeah. The law of large numbers says you're right.
But so that is either a brewery that's opening soon and then realizes they shouldn't have, or they've been open for a while.
So
I think by the end of this year.
Do you have something in your mind, or are you just making a general?
Oh no,
statement?
guess no. That's why I'm trying to twist the question to guess.
No,
I'm not hoping.
Let's
There's a couple that I'm like
tomorrow. Let's use history.
My prediction is that like there's going to be a brewery that comes out with like 3 more styles this year. By the end of 2017, this is what I'm going with.
I held it envelope like it's like.
Yeah, we got to write these down and pin them to the wall. So you mentioned Blue Lobster.
Right.
Before Blue Lobster was the last New Hampshire brewery to close.
Oh God!
And I don't know the answer.
Catamount or some old.
Wasn't Catamount in Vermont? Catamounts where Harpoon is.
Okay, so maybe I'm thinking of something else then, but I don't. I
No,
don't
so
know.
my point is this.
I wrote the book.
Well, yeah,
I'm going like the map of New Hampshire on my life.
and I'm not trying to trick you because I don't know what the answer is either.
No.
What I'm trying to look at is
It's been a while.
Is there a trend in what's going on with the Frank Jones Brewery?
Here-
Maybe.
so, let me back up because I know Ben is trying to pull.
Renee, 7 Barrel Brewery. Gotcha.
Oh yeah, true. Renee, I knew we had.
Get
some,
in
yeah,
the
get in-
studio.
yeah, get in here.
Prodigal went out too.
Yes. Oh, Paul. Yes, because now Paul Harris Paul Harris is working over at Stark in
Oh, okay.
Millie's Tavern. So let me back this up.
Hang on, I got one more.
Go get in there.
Nutfield too. I didn't even know they went out of
Nutfield?
business.
Sounds like
Bull Jagger. Not New Hampshire, but Maine.
it's true.
You know what? I
So,
shouldn't have asked that question because you guys totally threw it back.
So
at me.
I say by the end of the year, but I'm that's definitely a wild guess. But here's why I categorize that. I've been to 3 New Hampshire brew fests, like specific New Hampshire brew fests in the past 2-3 months, and I've had beers that I'm like, you can't be pushing this out the door. Like you shouldn't be.
Mm-hmm.
And it's been going on for a while from these particular breweries, and I hope. My hope is they realize that they got to know when to fold them, even though that times might have already passed. Fold them. So, but it's no bad karma towards anybody. I've been to 3 festivals where these breweries have been, and I'm like, be it new or old, I'm like, it's time to fold it up. So
I think that's probably true in a lot of.
What do you
businesses.
think? Next year, 2 years?
No, I
New
threw out.
Hampshire,
I
New
threw
Hampshire.
out. I threw out the next year. I mean, I think absolutely when we're looking at the numbers that we have,
Yep.
and saturation is probably going to happen.
Yeah,
I would say the next year, without knowing how many are forming or anything right now.
Watts, special guest
100%.
this year.
I've
Or in a
and I
year.
have one in mind.
Oh God, we can't do it on the after show either. We have to do it. Mic's off. Mic's off. We can't.
Oh yeah, I know. I want to know.
Yeah. No.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. That's the same.
He said Ortsmith Brewery. No.
Yeah. That's
These guys have
yeah.
run their
25 years. Get these guys at it. No.
That's the same one I was thinking
He
of
said
too.
it rhymes with Smissel Smothers. All right, listen. So that I'm not going to end it on that. I do want to say if you guys want to pay attention to the after show, if you listen to the audio podcast,
Let's talk about the upcoming guests before we.
yes.
Before
So
we kill
let's
this.
end on that.
Okay.
Let's end on a way happy note. So upcoming guests, you have the schedule up on the thing.
I don't have the whole
Jeez,
thing.
go
Right
to
in front of me.
this.
Like I'm terrible. Apparently
So-
I'm the bitch. of
Absolutely.
this.
Oh, for sure. Because Ben and I got to keep the show going. We got to grease the wheels, the whole thing.
It was a
So
picture that
we
posted.
have
Hold
we
on.
have 3 shows lined up,
I do have it
ready
right
to
here.
go,
I
ready
have
to
it right
go,
here.
and we are one of which is something that Ben and I have wanted to do for a while, and we've been. I don't think we've talked about it on the show, but we also have guests coming up that we want to make sure that you guys know that we have things coming up. We want you to get ready, and if you have questions for these particular guests,
we want involvement. We do
Get involved.
We do, and we'll post more info about the guests too. So
yeah,
you guys
as-
know,
as the-
sort of
as
who-
the show comes up,
so,
absolutely,
'cause- So
we'll do hot bios,
oh yeah,
like teen beat
yeah.
bios.
So the 2 upcoming guests, one of you was listening, the other one was listening earlier. We're gonna need hot bios. But
I don't need hot bios.
yeah.
I'm not right. That's
So coming on Sunday,
Hot.
September 3rd, which is the Labor Day weekend, the end of the summer. No, it says Sunday, September 3rd on the
Did I
picture.
lie?
Did you? Let me pull up my own calendar.
Right there, boom, boom. So I'm wrong?
Yeah, I'm look.
Am I confidently pointing myself wrong
Sunday,
right now?
Yeah,
that's true.
Sunday's
Yeah,
the
you're
3rd.
right.
No, that's August.
Sunday 3rd.
That's August.
Oh,
yeah.
no, I was in there.
So Sunday, September 3rd is the inaugural, which means it's going to happen again.
Oh yeah,
Hopefully, is the Let's Talk Beer Power Hour podcast. Now, for those of you that are unaware, we will explain. Power Hour is a drinking game
yes.
where a person consumes 1 ounce via a shot glass of beer every minute for 1 hour. It sounds easy. As Brian is going to show you on September 3rd, it is not.
I've never done one.
I will show you that it is.
Oh, I love it.
I like it.
I love
Get in
it.
there. So
we will be taking bets. But I will be taking bets. By the way,
so we were
I've got
talking-
50 on Watts right now.
what sucks is like I recognize you and Whitey, your friend, as great beer drinkers. And when we brought up the topic to Whitey at Liars Bench, the look of horror on his face. I'm like, are we dead?
I'm pretty sure. I think we both said that I've that we have thrown up more times than we haven't during
So
power
I mean,
hours.
so yes, this will be filmed live and audio. So
and
we're-
it will be also craft beer
it's-
by
so, yeah.
definition.
So I'm leaning towards Notch session.
no, I think if Notch wants to sponsor the inaugural
I don't think they do. I don't think
Beer
they,
Power
maybe the
Hour
second one.
podcast.
But yeah, so that's something we want to do is kind of like we'll pick like a broad topic and talk about it over an hour, and
That's-
then just
that's also going to require a lot of input from you guys. So we're going to be a lot better about monitoring the comments on the
especially-
Facebook Live,
especially during that show. Absolutely,
which means we're not going to be able to. But no,
get
that's
a ticker
that's
up there.
No, I feel like we should rely on the audience to guide us for what we're going to talk about.
Well, yeah. So
during that show.
if you listen right now, comment either now or
It's also going to be one of those. Let's do small topics too, like maybe some rapid fire stuff. I don't think we're going to be able to hold a long conversation. Remembering to throw back a show. Whatever you want to talk about.
So communism is definitely the topic.
Yeah, we're not going to like debate War and Peace. So yes, that's Labor Day weekend, Sunday, September 3rd. We don't have a time exactly yet, but it will be in the evening, most likely. We have a Father Day. All right, day. Sorry,
Easily
day.
like 10 a.m.
No, I have a fantasy football draft that morning. We can't do it in the day, or not early in the day, later in the day.
That's
we should hash this out on air.
So we'll start the power hour. You just join in, and we'll just do the Century Club. We'll
Why-
hash out.
oh yeah, why don't I
Okay,
just?
it's okay,
I'll start
stop.
the power hour right now. You
Oh yeah, here
All
he
right.
goes. All right, so we have two more.
Thursday, so Thursday, September 7th, so the same week as the Power Hour podcast, we're going to have
Once we wake up,
yeah, well, yeah, exactly. 4 days later, when we all wake up, we're gonna have Nick Evans on. Those of you who don't know Nick, he does a lot of work at York River Landing and at Johnson's, formerly of
It's your boy.
Fat Bellies. He did a lot of work with
Kitchen.
Commercial Alley Brews.
I think we work at the kitchen a
When
bunch
pigs
too.
fly.
Yeah, I mean, so Nick is like the local like beer knowledge
He,
expert. Like,
in my mind, he can be a complete beer geek, but also not talk about beer in the same vein. And you're like,
Correct.
who's this guy that I'm talking to? They can talk
Exactly.
about everything, but also have such the passion for beer. But we're also going to talk about. We were talking about him earlier in the show. We're going to talk about the festival he went to in Atlanta, the Shelton Brothers. But the beer list at York River Landing. So as a research and homework for this upcoming show, I advise all of you that can in the area go to York River Landing.
absolutely.
Get a couple beers.
Absolutely.
See what the
Ask
menu's
for Nick.
about.
Ask for Nick.
Absolutely. So that's I'm psyched. I'm psyched for that show.
Just super nice guy too, like super jovial, happy, friendly.
Guys, we are gonna wash his balls for an hour.
I know.
Oh,
It's-
yeah.
no.
It's gonna.
So-
that's
oh,
what
and
it's
I think
gonna be.
I'm bringing the fog machine in because there's so much smoke blowing. It's
And
gonna-
I think we also decided
Watch
he's
this.
going to bring all the beer. So
Absolutely, yeah.
So and
Oh,
and Nick's
we're
not
fresh
that.
out. Sorry.
Yeah, Nick's
even
not
though
that.
even though there's a can
Yeah,
sitting right on my
there's
desk.
a candy on
Sorry.
right here. I'll turn
Get
the
us outta
label
here.
around.
Yeah, get
Yeah,
outta here.
Nick's going to bring all kinds of good stuff.
Cool.
Nick, awesome guy. Again, I respect his palate as well. He knows he can taste everything out of the beer. He's
It's a heck of a pickup line. I
fantastic.
respect your palate.
And then on Monday, September 11th, Anthony Cormier, who has also been mentioned significantly by me on this podcast. He is my craft beer mentor. I will say that. Formerly of the Portsmouth Brewery, now of the Black Forest Cafe in Amherst. Super knowledgeable guy when it comes to beer. Home brewer, bartender, beer bar manager. He knows
He
the
was
ins
a
and the
subject
outs.
of our story when your first podcast.
Oh yes, he was
he was in the limo from Blue Lobster
He was in the Blue Lobster limo
that we almost went to
actually.
Chicago.
Yes, that we when we didn't almost go to Chicago.
No, nowhere near it.
But yes, Anthony will be on. He's going to be talking to us about the sort of the bar side of the beer industry. Also, he is newly a father for the second time. Going to talk. Him and Ben, I'm sure, going to talk a lot about how to balance kids
That
and
stuff.
beer
Poopy
Yeah.
diapers.
and beer. Like what
Poopy-
beer? What beer do you drink when changing a poopy diaper?
Just
What pairs well?
yeah, ooh, yeah.
whatever brewery's closing
with,
soon.
with diaper Vaseline.
So those 4 shows are coming up. It's going to be awesome,
Yeah.
and we're going to try to publish a schedule.
Absolutely, yeah. And
going forward.
and if you have any suggestions for who we should have on, what we should talk about,
Or what we should not
Facebook's
talk
always
about too,
open.
or
Yeah.
what we should not talk
definitely.
about.
So Facebook's always wide open. Final thoughts before we shut this one down. We're gonna go again. We're gonna keep it going, but I want to shut the audio podcast down because it runs long, but the video will stay up. Anything going on in the next week, Jeff, that you want to talk about?
Going camping within 20 minutes of Ebenezer's this weekend. So you never,
Yeah, boy.
you never know.
Awesome. Is that it?
I mean,
You
I've
you
had-
never know. It's such a bull.
I've had a pretty lame existence, as a new homeowner lately.
We
I
haven't talked that much. Trust me. You're gonna look like a
I haven't seen you in a
Goddamn-
long
goddamn
time.
You got some-
I
you
haven't
got some
seen
good
you in
stuff.
like 3 years. So yeah, I don't know where
Pretty
you've
solid.
been. You're probably a CIA agent
no,
somewhere.
no.
Speaking
It's
of-
literally, it's like I did some laundry.
Speaking of lame
I did
existence,
laundry today too. I did laundry
Hey
today.
guys, I built a fucking podcast studio in my second bedroom. Lame, right?
No,
Anyway.
this is fucking awesome.
Anyway, Watts. What's
Tomorrow.
going on? Yeah.
Beer Olympics going on. Company party. We're
What?
talking
What?
home run derby.
Where's my invite?
yeah,
Yeah.
Come on down.
Let's
Greenland.
talk.
Greenland.
Greenland.
Oh,
We're
God, I
close.
was hoping it was gonna be Dover.
Home run derby.
Yeah.
Polish horseshoes. Bago, aka cornhole.
I'm killer at that.
We got Dead Air's awesome, right?
Yeah, it's pretty
People-
good.
people
It's great.
There's 6 games and I got 3 down so far.
What does the winner get?
what about horseshoes?
What,
Regular.
what do you? Nope. I already said that.
Lawn
Polish
darts.
horseshoes.
Flip cup.
Flip cup.
Ladder ball.
Beer pong.
Oh,
One other.
I love
do you need a
God
partner?
damn.
I am amazing at half those games.
I know.
Wait,
I
which
feel
one?
Really
Wait, which one? Beer pong or flip cup?
Oh,
Those are half those
first
games.
of all, beer pong, flip cup, and bags. Yeah, I mean, you were my bags partner,
Yep.
or against me at bags. I don't know.
Yeah.
Oh, we ruled at Bags last year.
Beer
at this
pong
party.
right here.
Oh yes.
I know. I feel like I got a real.
We
Right? But does
Out
So-
of college.
let's
for
all right,
like-
so
wait,
if-
wait,
if-
hold on, let's watch the
if the Power Hour
Hold on,
podcast
hold on.
works,
We're all right here. We're all within.
am I getting loud?
Everyone's
so
listening.
excited.
Everyone's
if the
listening.
Power Hour podcast works, we're gonna do a flip cup podcast,
I got an island downstairs.
right?
We
Like
can
we're
make
gonna
that
we're gonna do a
All right.
we're gonna do a
Beer
pong-
Olympics.
Best of luck to
Beer
you,
Olympics,
sir,
yes.
tomorrow.
Thank you.
I also have my apologies.
I'll have the 6th game available.
Send me-
on the after show.
Send me any text and I'll just screenshot them and put them on Facebook. For me, not much going on this weekend. I'll just give a quick shout out to Iron Duke in Ludlow, Mass. I was there last week, and the Western Mass breweries. I say all Western Mass breweries are underrated because Treehouse overpowers them, but it's not that they're bad. It's just there's a lot of Western Mass breweries that you might not know about. So Iron Duke, Ludlow, Mass, right off the Mass Pike, exit 9 or 7. Well worth the stop. I hope you guys go. I talk about it a lot anyway. But that's gonna end the audio show. Ben, Jeff, now that you guys met podcast wise,
We are a collective one.
we are now collective one. So we're gonna shut the audio down now and cheers, guys. And if you're watching on Facebook, stick around and ask questions because we're gonna just finish these beers and figure it all out. Cheers.
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 There he is.
Oh, God damn it. Chuck, no, it's not Can Jam.
Chuck loves canned jam. by the way.
I'm definitely stopping the audio podcast.
It's not,
oh
it's
god,
not like one of the
I'm stopping
new
the audio
games.
podcast.
It's not like
Oh
a
god
Can
damn it.
Jam. It's not like a what that fucking
Monkey
bounce,
chug?
the bounce ball,
Oh,
like
it was-
slam
Oh,
ball, or whatever.
yeah, yeah.
slam. Is it
Yeah,
slam?
yeah.
Slam? My brother told me about
It's a
that.
classic game, and I just can't think of it right now. I'm writing these down.
Man, this computer is ballin'.
Is it good?
It's good. So what beers we have left, and what should we? I mean,
Like, well, we have a Cantillon which we could have put on ice.
it's too late.
I think slam. Is it slam ball? Is that the one? No, I
It's the one where you throw a ball on a trampoline kind of thing.
Yeah.
which
yeah.
I didn't know was a game until
It's-
like a week
It's
ago.
called stupid.
Something. Oh,
dot-
so let's see.
.com.
Ball trampoline
Please.
game. Oh yeah,
no,
just
no,
Google.
just type in ball tran.
Yeah, ball trampoline. Spike ball.
Trans.
Spike ball.
Spike ball.
Spike ball.
So we have more.
It's like
Chuck's in there. Spike ball.
Is there any new beers or no?
No, we don't. I remember when I said should we bring up more than 3, and you said
There's a fridge
no.
downstairs. The after show
I mean,
is.
we
is
have hi-fis right
Oh.
here though.
But there's a loon right there.
Not bad though, guys. Hour and a half for the audio. That's as
no, I
max
which
it should be.
Yeah, we've got some hi-fis right here. If you just wanted to have another hi-fi.
Sure, it's good.
or-
It's good enough. Yeah. High times. Anyone see that? Never mind. You saw that. You see the San Francisco?
What?
Hi.
I can't. I'm really focused on what the fucking 6th game is. It's really
Facebook.
match.
I know we have people watching. Any comments or what? I believe we had some other things. We should,
Chuck, that's not an acceptable comment. I'm
What do you-
not. I'm not going to pin that one.
host fight? Wait,
You guys suck.
Oh.
Yeah, he said you guys suck.
that's true.
He said listen to me.
No, I mean there's no excuse for bullshit. But
Can we get him on the? Can we plug a phone into this right now?
Wait.
Can we?
absolutely no. If we get him on Skype, sure.
Chuck, do you have Skype?
Also, we should get Chuck in for the Power Hour. Even though
Oh yeah,
he's,
Chuck. Do you want to be in on the Power
La-
Hour, Mr. Big Shot?
I feel like we could have
last
like a
last
handful of,
hurrah.
like non on mic guests.
Just to watch the insanity.
Just to play. Just
Oh,
to
to
play.
play? Oh
Yeah,
my
yeah.
God! But Chuck, before he gets married, listen, get on a power hour. He might.
I know. I think Chuck wants the power hour. Oh, he said gas is a killer. Oh, he said negative too. What a pussy. Can I say that on the after show?
After shows raw. It's kind of like Boys Gone Wild.
Raw.
Yeah, it's fine. I was on my.
Oh, in the ensuite bath. We have an ensuite bathroom here, by the way.
Just don't touch anything, huh?
I touched everything when I was in there.
Oh man. I love how we got great comments.
Chuck,
though.
well, it's all from Chuck. He also wants his picture.
Renee was
Oh no!
commenter
So
of the
Renee
of-
MVP,
Absolutely.
Renee MVP of the
Absolutely.
show. So
And she's-
who
yes.
who is Renee? How do we know Renee?
I believe she works social media for the Brew and H organization, which we should get her on the show as special guest anyway.
Absolutely.
Absolutely. Why don't you shut the door when you're in the bathroom, huh? Oh boy.
There was no light. I just peed with the lights
There's a
off.
light next to the toilet.
Yeah, I didn't look for
I'm
it.
showing. I'm talking too much about where my architecture of my house.
Yeah.
Listen, but yes, great. I love. That's like the interaction I want.
This-
I
yeah.
don't expect it, but when that comes up, that's
So
awesome.
here's another. I want to throw a shout out to
Hey,
Wes.
put the can in the thing, huh?
We already had one of these.
That's true. Gotcha.
No, I want to throw a shout out to Wes. Wes asked a couple questions that we kind of missed.
Yes, that's exactly. Get in there.
Wes is a buddy of mine from San Francisco. Super knowledgeable beer guy. We're going to do some cross country trading. I'm actually trying to find his comments here. It's not easy. Too many people commented. So let me see if I can pull it up from here.
Shout out to Dan Spuchis, who recognized Rafi, aka Jason Mantzoukas, on the wall there. Just a quick background for those who don't know, the art on the wall is picked on purpose. Besides the top two, which just kind of rounds out the room. Podcaster Hall of Fame right here. We have Jason Mantzoukas, Ben, go. Lauren Lapkus,
Oh, I'm sorry.
Paul F.
Say their
Tompkins,
names.
and John Gabris. So we might add some more, but they are highly influential in the podcast game for me. And I enjoy having them on the wall.
Is Wes? Oh, Wes, ask your questions again, please. Now that you're back, ask your.
Wes
ask
is back.
Yeah, come on, Wes. Ask your questions again. I think it was one of the favorite beer we've drank in the last week. Was one of his questions. I think.
Yeah, it was. Or it was definitely. So in the last week,
I don't think I've drank anything really new though.
I'd give a shout out to the Amherst Brewing Company Juliet 20th anniversary, because Amherst Brewing Company is in Amherst, Mass. Silent H on the Amherst. They're celebrating their 20th anniversary, and they released a New England IPA.
For those of you who listened last week, Brian is now going back on what he said.
Trigger. Let me finish. No, but it's like Juliet is that's their IPA.
So Juliet to me is a Goose Island sour. It's one of the ladies.
Ooh.
So stop renaming beer.
Listen, they've been around for 20 years, so I'm not going to stand here defending my hometown-ish. But also, that's the best beer I've had in the past week.
so-
what? Does it rhyme with oars and end in light?
And it's also favorite. It's not best. It doesn't have to be best. Just favorite beer.
Yeah, no, it is.
Recently.
Recently, yeah.
Recently.
Yeah, recently, yeah.
Yeah, so it could be a year. We don't
And
have to
it
tell
could be
them
like
that-
a fucking
Yeah.
great beer that you
Time
had. Like,
is relative.
yeah. No,
Yeah, the older you are, the longer you can go back.
that's someone in that draft article said the same thing. But it could be like the beer after freaking kicking ass in a test. I don't know. Even though that was tequila.
That was tequila. Shitsky. Jesus Christ, I can't think. Good. That's good. That's good. What was yours while I think on this?
I just said it.
Yeah, so honestly, I'll
Second. What was your second?
I'll throw mine out. So
Co-host.
yeah, the guest. I'll throw mine out. As far as a new beer goes,
Yeah.
the Pilsner from Liar's Bench
Not bad.
actually
Yeah.
today was fantastic, and actually the collab with Stoneface that Tributary
The
did,
Rye Porter.
the Rye Porter were actually quite phenomenal.
It was, as Jim Jones would say, ballin'. Not that Jim Jones.
From the
I was from where all the people died.
This is
Kool-Aid guy?
This is the after show. So the dial is
Right.
fully turned the other way.
So I think Watts figured his
yeah.
out.
yeah. So I had never been to Woodland Farms before.
Did you even know it was
When'd you
there?
go?
Because
You-
I didn't know it was there. I just drove by and was
Yeah.
like, the fuck's a brewery here?
I didn't know
We went
exactly
once
where
and
it
it was
was,
closed.
and neither did half the people that walked
Let
in
me
there.
let
They're
me
like,
toss this up. Keep talking.
"Can we get a food? Is this where the food is?" No, the huge sign in the window that says beer is what this room is. But Yeah, I was a big fan. I think we were kind of like on the tail end of a bit of a brewery tour day, so I think we were keeping it.
Was that with the kids? You and the
No. This was like me, Brian, Kathy,
Oh,
a
okay.
couple other like tag-alongs.
Thanks for the invite.
We
It was
did,
a-
we
it
did
was
go to
a-
Woodland Farm.
It was a
That was a day.
it was a day.
It was a day.
But
Was that your
so
first time at Woodland
That was
Farms?
the first time at Woodland Farms.
I wish I paid more attention.
Saying that it was like the last stop that we got to,
Yeah.
we were keeping it kind of on the low ABV tip, but it was great. Yeah, I was really impressed with everything I had there.
So he brings up a good point because we went there the first time and they were closed. So we're like, meh, meh. So that experience alone made us. Ben and I made this schedule here that you can see on the video. It is the almanac. You can print it out, index card size if you want. Put it in your wallet. This is the definitive schedule of Seacoast breweries, and every time it changes, we will change this. So you can see what's open and what's closed. Thursday, it took a while, but all breweries in the Seacoast wide open.
Thirsty Thursday. You better be open.
We also have the Southern Maine breweries as well. You can get into on
Get
that.
that full screen for a second.
I mean, we can, but it won't work on this. So yeah, I'm not there yet. But listen,
Yeah, I didn't mean for me. It's in the comments.
oh yeah. Oh,
People are like,
oh no.
can't
It's
read
Chuck.
your-
No, yeah, don't.
So
first of all,
no,
don't
no,
listen
so
to Chuck.
Also, I'm shitting me for not saying it. Go to Let's Talk.beer, and I will show you right where it is right now. If you go to Let's Talk. Boom, right up top. You can't see my mouse, but it's right here. Brewery schedule cheat sheet. You click on
Ooh,
that.
it's a cheat sheet. We're cheating.
Opens
We're
up.
cheating.
Yeah, because I mean, how else do we find out? By Googling every brewery? No. Let's Talk.beer. Click brewery cheat sheet schedule. Boom, you're there. So you will find out who you hate, aka the breweries that are open on Tuesdays or Wednesdays.
Yeah. Well, they got to brew some days.
yeah, so-
or
so
whatever.
also-
most of those are the smaller ones. Let's be honest.
You ran into some shit too when you were doing jury duty, like where there's no breweries in Portland, Maine open on Monday. You're like, screw this.
It's like a barbershop.
I want a lunch
Barbershops
break.
aren't open on Mondays.
Oh, that's true.
You can't get your haircut. Can't get a beer.
Unbelievable.
What do you do?
Well, I don't know. You go to work.
Stay
I guess.
home and just do this.
Yeah,
Like,
exactly.
Awesome. Oh my god. So he had Wesley put his question in there again.
You had another question. Yeah.
No,
About
it was Magnolia, New Belgium.
correct.
So last episode, check it out.
we did. So we talked about that a bit. I
We
mean,
have
I
some
think
ties
it's,
too. Which
I think it's a good thing. Yeah. Well, and
I
Wes
say
is,
we.
well, no, Wes knows our connections.
So yeah, I mean, it's
That's how I know Wes actually is through our connections.
we talked about it, and we hope to get more information from either the source or just someone close to it.
Correct.
Soon.
We think it's a good thing, or at least I will say it's a good thing because it keeps Magnolia open. And as much as I'm not,
Fucking ladder golf or whatever the
I said
fuck
ladder
that
ball.
is.
I said it.
Jesus
ladder
Christ.
ball, the one where you throw the balls.
Jesus
yes.
Christ.
So
I thought you were just about to go on a rant about Magnolia Brewing.
yeah,
It was
it was off the deep
Is it
end
ladder
there.
ball IPA?
Well, I don't even know what Chuck's question was, but no. So Wes, I'm all a fan for it because it keeps Magnolia open, and as much as I'm not a fan of bitters, I think their location is awesome, and the food they do, and the beer they do is great. It's just some of it's not my style, but I think it's awesome. So we're happy to have that.
Jeez.
And Chuck, like
The peanut gallery is fantastic today.
yeah,
no,
Chuck's-
I'm into it. Like
Chuck's
I'm
like
in.
those two old guys in the Muppets. They're
He is both of them.
Yeah, I don't know what they
I
are.
want that gif of
Oh.
two Chucks talking to each other.
Wes, we will definitely do a Let's Talk Beer San Francisco edition. We will be out there. We'll
Maybe
go out-
there.
Well, no, yeah, we're gonna do it. Wes, you'll be
When
you'll be our local guide. It's
When
gonna
Let's
be
Talk Beer does it, we do it big. We do power hours or we go to San Francisco.
it's gonna be like when there's a show that travels around. You have like to hire a local guide. Wes, you will be our local guide.
Here's a little
show us around.
Here's not off topic though. So the new beer display you see
Oh,
down
yes.
here is not an accident. I ordered a mini photo booth that you get for eBay, but it also came with these awesome green screens
And black
and
screens
black screens.
and red screens.
But it's like we can like set this up and maybe put like a bar scene behind the beer. So like we're just
do you
like
know how to do that? Like
Please.
you make movies?
yeah. I mean, I don't.
George,
but
we
Single
have George
guy.
Lucas. We have George Lucas over here in the studio. He's gonna make speeders on Endor go by in the background.
never heard of it. Is that Star Wars? I imagine. That's all I know George Lucas by.
I hate you.
Never seen it. Anyway, no, stay here. No, you know what? Bring the guest over to the co-host seat.
I just signed this spot. That's why I'm
It's true.
sitting here.
No, but yeah. So we're kind of
He's
upping.
gonna need to sign the table too. We're gonna need to get that on camera
Oh,
too.
for sure. We'll get it on camera. But yes, we have the new photo booth. We also have the ability to get another a fourth person in here. So we have the ability. We're fully set up for the studio now. We are currently 2 weeks ago we had that computer and it was sucking. hardcore. Last week
Correct.
we got this, and we got
Other than Anthony,
Feeling
did,
pretty confident about my position here with the sucky computer.
Anthony did
Come on,
complain.
it's the Surface.
No, well, it works for what you're doing. Anthony complained about his video getting choppy.
This thing is hot. This thing is hot fire.
Well, it's on full.
Yeah, it's on full tilt.
Make sure it's on full power. Anthony did complain about his video getting a little choppy, but
Okay.
it was not choppy for me, and I was watching the whole time.
I am
So-
recording it too, so what I will be doing is uploading it to YouTube, and I'll put the full. I split it up to do the audio show and then split it with the after show. So if you want to watch
Okay.
the after show separately, get in there.
We'll do that. Yeah.
Explicit.
Let's talk beer after dark.
Explicit.
Explicit. We have a Red Band trailer logo for
do.
it coming out.
We do. It's right here.
If you put it up, I'll say the fuck. I said it because the Red Band trailer's up.
I should do this. So I got to bring it all the way up to the top. Hold on. This is live editing right here. Move to the top. Boom. Woo. Huh?
Oh, did I say the F word before you put it up there?
Oh yeah. Wait. It doesn't mute you.
No, but I waited till you put it up and then I said the F word.
Yeah. So look at that Red Band trailer for.
The only one qualified here to have dad jokes, I think, are isn't it? Does this all say dad jokes?
We go back and forth with dad jokes.
Did you take
daily.
dad? You took dad jokes out of it.
It's in there.
Where?
Third one in.
Oh, dad jokes. Okay, so you're the only one with the dad joke. What's your best dad joke? Actually, I want to hear that. What's your best dad joke?
It's all like pun based.
Don't you have to have older kids to have dad
Pun-based.
jokes though too? Don't you have to be like that
Oh.
guy wearing like white high tops and like stonewashed jeans, and then you make your dad jokes?
Chuck, I had a Mac by the way. I sold it.
I think the
on
ultimate
eBay.
dad jokes come from the. Wow.
Wait,
not true.
here's a better question: are dad jokes intentional? Like, does dad know they're bad
Oh
jokes?
yeah.
Okay, so dad.
Does he though?
So
Oh,
dad,
yeah.
dad. So,
Dad-
yeah, okay, so this dad knows.
So are we asking? Are we also asking the third person when we're asking you, dude, dad? Because you're dad. My dad didn't know.
Are dad jokes passed down, or do they just organically develop?
No, I think there's like there's a frame within which dad jokes exist,
So-
and
and-
you just understand it better.
So do you remember your dad making jokes? Do you remember being like, "Oh, dad"?
No.
Rick,
but
first of all,
they're-
Rick Brews on Untapped is the comedic genius.
Yeah,
So I don't know.
it's not a hereditary. It's not a passed down kind of thing.
just
It's just you
happens.
understand what fits.
Is
in
it
that
it's like
frame.
mind meld of like I now inherit your jokes, but I don't know what they are
You
until
can-
they come
I
out.
mean,
You're like,
you can
oh,
have them, but
Yeah.
you just can't. You can say this
Man,
is my punny.
yes.
This is my punny joke.
so yeah, dad jokes and overuse of the term "you're my best friend," which will come out during the Power Hour.
Not with just the three of us here.
You're
I
my
certainly
best.
won't say
You're
that.
my best friend.
I won't say that.
No,
Is that-
no, you're under arrest.
oh, is
I
that-
gotta say that bullshit.
so he's the dad jokes, and you're my best friend.
You've had too many to drink.
We will probably need that Red Band logo there because for me, swearing comes out when I
The
drink,
entire
so-
show would just be this and us talking over it,
Pretty
like
much.
with like you can see our hand a little bit.
with some bleeps. Is there like an ability to? You have a bleep button?
Yeah, we have to hire someone for that. Yeah, I get him on Fiverr, no problem.
Yeah, because you certainly can't bleep.
You join us for an hour and just press bleep every 10 seconds.
10 seconds.
We gotta hire more Fiverr people that do intros for the. We'll hire a Fiverr guy to do the.
I would
the
love it.
Power Hour
I would love
intro.
it if we can just do. We would do Fiverr, but say, here's just this information. What intro would you give us for this info?
What is Fiverr?
We give you the name of the
I would
show,
just get,
the
like-
name of the host, and what would you say?
Yeah,
And then just fucking play it.
It's like just
What
a
is Fiverr?
Nigerian guy who's
so
just like,
Fiverr is like,
"Welcome to Power Hour."
yeah.
I'd pay $50 for that.
So
It's
$5.
It's
So
$5.
Fiverr is a website where you can pay $5 to have someone do something, either like draw a picture for you, do an intro for you. I think they did
No, but
one-
it's like
they did one of our
legitimate.
logos. I think.
Yeah, they did.
Yeah.
They did.
I'm not familiar. I'm not familiar with Fiverr.
It's like
So it's like,
TaskRabbit,
I need a music poster for my band, right? Like I need a graphic
I
designer
see.
to design this.
Just somebody wants to do something.
Yeah, and so like $5 for this, you can
Chuck is.
Chuck is on like
My nose
you know
is running. Better go catch it.
Here's my favorite part about
I
this.
hate this.
Chuck is actively listening to us.
I know,
which
it's-
means
I
he has
love
no
it.
life.
No,
right?
no. Whoa, he has
I'm
the
kidding, I'm
life.
kidding.
I heard he's living the life. What are the odds we can go downstairs? You can go downstairs and grab that dusty Impy to end this after show,
Yeah. Okay.
and then a couple of the sample glasses.
Is that let me fondle the ball?
No, just 2 fingers.
Ooh,
Yeah,
Was that up in the finger?
there it is. Yeah, this is the after show. Isn't it?
Where are the
band.
sample glasses located?
Oh, just where the glasses are next to the above the
Oh,
dishwasher.
yeah. So in the house I don't live in, where the glasses? Yeah, I'll figure
Above
it
the
out.
dishwasher.
I'll,
Just
fig-
when I showed up, he's like, the key's on the left there.
I'll figure it out. Yeah.
I want everyone to live at my house, so like you guys know where this shit is. Thanks. And then if anything else in the fridge you see nice, bring it. No dead air. Ugh, you can hear my friggin'
Mouth moving.
I hate that. Ugh. So
Let's talk about
how was your weekend?
Let's talk about this new WWE development.
Yes. Okay. Absolutely. God, you're here. So after show only, we have one article I want to talk about while we're here, and while Jeff is not here, it's pretty cool. WWE has announced their first female referee for their Mae Young Classic. So the Mae Young Classic is for those of you that are fans of the WWE Network, they are doing a separate like offshoot women tournament. We've been talking about it for a while. They now have their first female referee.
Who is a former wrestler?
Oh, really?
Or someone who came up in the game.
Yeah. So if you go to Reddit, you'll find out that there has been 1 or 2 that have tried to referee in wrestling in WWF, but they left because of harassment. And yes, WWE is a very masculine sport, but the female, at least now, the female division hasn't been better. This is it. Like this is as good as it gets with these.
Yeah, I mean, I was watching some stuff this past week of like old WWF women's wrestling, and it was just like bra and panties,
Yes.
wrestling in the gravy. It was degrading,
Yes.
but that's not what it is anymore.
I'm pumped for this too because I wonder, like, I hope that they bring her out of this Mae Young Classic and like into, like, yes, it seems cliche to have like a women referee in a women's match, but
no, but her debut was in like a house show with a guys match.
But I would not mind it if every time there's a women's championship match on a pay-per-view, she was there or a women referee was there, because the guy referees. I mean, if you look at a pay-per-view now, they're the same 4 rotating throughout these matches.
But it's like
We're talking about women referees. Jesus, we let Jeff loose in my house. He comes back with a fucking Bud Light and a Kate the Great. I don't know. That's bad. We can try it though. It's bad. Yes, if you hold up to the light, you can see the fruit, and it's
So this means
protein.
yeah,
I'll try it.
it's definitely. It looks like Stifler from American Pie 2. But so we're talking about the first female referee.
But just to be
from
clear,
WWE.
she's not a female referee to referee female matches.
Well, in
She's
this
just
case-
she's
in
just
this case.
for Mae
Mae
Young.
Young, yeah.
What about the first female NFL referee a couple years ago? That's a big time.
We're talking about wrestling now.
But the
right?
thing is,
don't
like,
don't bring your sports into our sports, huh?
You don't.
This is our show now.
Not my sports.
You
yeah, you
barely
guys can
know
have
like
the
who
show.
the ref is.
No, so Mae Young, if for those that don't know, can go to Royal Rumble 2000, where Jacqueline accidentally may or may not have taken Mae Young's top off. Anyway, Mae Young, Mae Young is like the Ric Flair of women.
Woo!
Holy hot mic.
Oh my word!
Hot mic.
That's Ric Flair, right?
No, it is. It is. But yeah, so Mae Young's great, but they're doing a tournament for women, and she's the female wrestler, and she looks like she won't take any shit. And there's women in WWE who do not look as jacked as she does. So well played. Comments?
Wesley is asking if anybody's tried the Fontaine Oud Creek 3. I thought we already established that nobody gives a fuck about your imports, Wesley. We only care about
no, I have. I've
East
had.
Coast
I've had.
IPAs.
I've had some Oud. I've had Oud Creek from Dre Fontaine. I think I might. I might have. I
I'm
actually.
still,
I have,
my ears are still ringing from the woo.
I actually have the Shazer bake. How do you pronounce it? The Shazer bake.
She's your bay.
Yeah. It's
Whose bay is she?
it's like.
Is that it? What year is that? Let me just get that in the thing here. Huh?
This was the first year, so this would be 13, right? Because it was Kate 11 and 12, and then this 13, and it always drips. So I gotta put this on the thingy under there.
Are we on tape? See the smile?
It always drips.
Yeah.
That could be the name of the show. I'm gonna put this in the beer house.
Put it in the beer house. Yeah. The beer house is great. Live from the beer house. It's Jeff and the idiots.
Jeff and the boys.
Jeff and the huh?
There's still beer in this
I know.
It's Mad Dog and the alligator.
Can you back one of those things? Oh, look at that. Hey, it's a podcast, huh? Look at that Liars Bench hat, though. It's never leaving.
Are you petting a hat?
No, I'm truing it up to the
I
camera.
thought you were petting it.
Look at this, huh?
All right, let me get back into these questions here people are asking.
Sure,
Just
but
while I was gone.
a couple. We had one more thing that we can talk about real quick. As far as like after show only, Lagunitas. We were talking about them being sold to Heineken years ago, but they are coming out. Even be it as it may that they're owned by Heineken, they're still coming out with some crazy stuff. And get this, boys. California-based Lagunitas debuts cannabis beer.
So can we talk about how the fact that they have their undercover shutdown ale was named because the state tried to shut them down for selling weed, but they weren't selling weed, but they shut them down for a week or whatever for having weed on the premises, and now they're just making beer with it in it.
So here you go,
Can we
turds.
talk? Can we talk about how times have changed?
And their Waldo Ale is a shout out to the guys who created the 420.
Yeah, well, they released it on 420. I was actually
Yeah.
there one year in 2012 randomly. We didn't even plan it, didn't even know it. We happened to be there and like, yeah, it's Waldo release day. We're like, great, man, it's awesome, and it was good.
Cannabis beer. Haven't read the article, but there you go. IPA with extracts of
Article
cannabis.
is
Oh,
5 sentences long.
Wes says it's pretty good.
All right. Oh,
That's all we care about.
all right.
It's pretty good.
There you go. No THC, meaning they do not trigger any mind-altering effects.
Don't give a fuck.
So
man.
what's in it?
THP. That's the other one. All right. Let's. That's the end of the show because.
Well, then we got to finish off. Like we have another.
No,
beer
no, I'm just. I'm seeing myself out.
Oh, okay.
You guys can keep talking.
Just scroll back.
I was
Or
gonna go like-
wheel back out of the. Yeah, I can't hear you. No
I'm
more.
out. So we have the Impy Stout, gentlemen.
2013.
Thank you for bringing it.
Absolutely. This is the first post
same glass?
Kate the Great
Wow, I've been to this too much.
Sun. I know what I'm doing.
Sun. So we didn't mention it in the other podcast, but we will. The upcoming events, we'll mention it next week because it's still coming up, like the NH Brew Fest.
Oh yeah. That's that's
the Schilling Oktoberfest, which is September 23rd.
There's no head on this whatsoever.
Hey,
None. It smells raisiny.
I told my friend about the barley wine we had, the Dogfish barley wine.
Oh, actually, that's quite nice. Actually,
Is
it's
it?
way
I'm scared.
no, it's way better than I thought it was. That's actually really, really like that's really good. Actually, I
I just want to like hug this microphone and just
Oh man, you know what I have that we'll have on this? We'll have on an after show.
What?
Is one of those goddamn triple box.
hours.
Oh, it sounds
Wait,
sounds
from
amazing
what, Sam
already.
Adams?
Sam Adams.
Wait, the ones your mom found?
1994.
Yes.
What happens? Like she has found them and so like, yes.
She's like,
Yes.
would you be interested in these?
Does she have 60? Does she have 180 ounces of them? We can do the power hour.
That reminds me of the time. So
you just go to the grocery store and buy some Kikkoman. I'm telling you, it'll probably be the same
soy
thing.
sauce. Yeah, I love soy
I'm
sauce
into
beers.
it. I'm into it.
Somebody who commented a bit, Derek Greenlaw, old roommate of mine, he would
It's all,
remember.
Jeff's, friends. Like on this fucking thing. No one likes us.
He knows Chuck, unfortunately, too.
Oh, sorry. I
so
take all that back.
he was my roommate way back in the day. We went up and visited his parents up in Meredith one day,
Mike Meredith,
and
shout out.
in Meredith, New Hampshire.
Yeah.
And she
Who this bitch
used to work. She used to work at the liquor
Says-
store, and so she was like, "Do you boys want some of these beers?" Or they weren't even beers; they were like liquor. It was they had X's crossed in the logo because they had been like broken cases. In 1986, there was a glass bottle of Fleischmann's gin that was opened. There was some other Derek, if you're still listening, whatever these other bottles were. But we actually made my brother Timmy, who I've mentioned a few times on the show, we made him drink that entire bottle of Fleischmann's gin as a
Yowzers.
sort of initiation, and he did it happily, and he's still alive. So it just goes to show you, it doesn't matter if booze has an X in the label, and your roommate's mom gave it to you from 1985, you'll survive.
Yeah.
Absolutely
Make
amazing.
it through.
Oh man, so, yeah, this is damn tasty.
This is way better than I thought. Like for a capped beer that's, I mean, it's only 4 years old, but still, like
I don't. I mean,
and for how flat it was, I was really
from
worried.
a non like major production brewery. Either.
we should just take a picture of the 3 beers you brought up because drastic in all the ways. Ugh.
Yeah, but we'll get to them. We'll
That's-
put them in the hood.
Oddly enough, that's better than that. I did not enjoy
I'll
this.
pour this so there's no chunks
so
in it.
here's where I'm coming from.
Apparently,
so
we have a pulpy beer next.
as a guy with a budget,
Who's that?
Me.
Where is
it's
he?
me. You're looking at him. When I'm in the grocery store, I'm like, what can I get? So one week I got Miller High Life champagne.
The champagne.
But the next week, I'm like, let me just try this 12-pack of Red Hook IPAs, and all of them are great. The Longhammer, the Big Ballard,
they had a 12-pack. They have that many IPAs.
it's mixed. Well, it's a mixed pack of 4.
Okay,
so
still.
and then that.
Finn Balor.
Oh, Derek commented the
Finn
seals
Ballard.
were paper too on those bottles. Sorry.
So no, but this I was told by former guest Sean Jansen that the draft was unbelievable.
Former Never Again guest.
for this, absolutely. And I said, you haven't tried this, so I gave him
on
that.
the table, too.
And he wrote way too big.
He
on that
told-
goddamn.
we actually don't have any room for any more guests.
I wish
to
I
sign
like
the table.
when Sean wrote on the table. I wish I could tell him to stop. Like stop writing. Like just a signature. Don't write your slogan. Anyway,
Yeah, I still can hear.
he told me that beer was great on tap, and he said he tasted that bottle, and because I gave him another one, he goes, it's bad. Like I don't know what they were selling there. So good luck with that. But
Well,
if you hold it to the light, it looks like the
Well,
bottom.
you know what? Then, but before we even finish it, I'm just going to open it. I have a glass here. I'm going to pour some. Let's just stop.
but
Just
look
talk-
at-
Get
No,
that
no,
in.
look
Get
first.
that on the camera.
Yeah, look first.
Once you pour that.
All right, so
So
we'll get,
I
it,
got
get it on camera.
I had a friend who sent me some High Life from
That's
Florida. The only place where they send it from. He sent me some High Life. He brought it to Oklahoma and mailed it from there. No, but it looked similar to that. I don't know if it's the same deal, but I contacted High Life about it, and they said that it's like a protein synthesis that occasionally happens with.
I have heard that before.
With a hot and cold exchange.
when I had a problem with that. You'll taste it. I guarantee it. It's just.
I'm not
syrupy.
defending this beer, but I'm saying
No, you're defending High Life, which you should be defending High Life always.
High Life.
Oh,
High
Life.
Life. Yeah, no.
Like,
don't-
why would somebody be sending you High Life?
Yeah, that's it.
I'll see you guys.
Exactly.
I gotta go.
Yeah, there's no chunks in
It's a
High
bathroom
Life.
this
It's
way.
a lager.
Okay, gotcha. But yeah, so
Do we know the history of this? It says bicoastal IPA. Does that imply the two?
Both.
Is it just
The two Red
Did they
Hooks.
contribute, or
yes,
is it just?
so the two Red Hooks contributed to make a New England style IPA with mango or passion fruit. It says on the bottle, and it is.
I don't like either of those.
it,
All right, so we're gonna open it and we do this.
it's bad. All right, after show, huh?
I've had.
Remember the breweries I was talking about? No, I'm kidding.
I've had Le Fin de Monde. It can't be as bad as that.
Is it Le Fin? Le Fin de Ballard?
Fin de Monde. It's Le Fin de
de
Monde
Ballard?
is whatever. The end of the world is what it means.
Wait, that's a Red Hook beer?
No.
Or you're talking
Oh,
about?
no,
you're
it's-
talking about the.
it's from Canada.
Yeah. What are they? What are they?
The Big Ballard is their Imperial IPA, which is awesome. Red Hook's Big Ballard is awesome. Ugh, good luck with this, man.
Brian's not even gonna try it.
Did you look it up at the light? No, I'll try it.
I did. We looked at it. We're gonna pour it into a glass.
Good
Well,
Lord.
I'll put it in a glass in the
No
beer
one,
hood.
no one's even asking questions. They're just waiting for you to drink it.
The
beer,
5 people are still watching.
The beer showcase is empty. There's no beer here, huh? Right here.
I think you're supposed to shake it first. I think.
Was it an Arnold Palmer in a
I
can?
think it looks really nice. Should I
That-
put this in the beer tent
What, the glass?
with the non-chunky beer?
The beer tent. We should. That's the great name for that.
The beer tent. Yeah, the beer tent.
Yeah, no, I'm into it.
All right. I'm gonna.
All right.
Well, no,
So
you know
proud.
what? I can't put these Bissell logos in there with this beer, so I'm gonna try it on behalf of all the hosts.
I just got
and the
chills.
guests.
Thank you, Derek Unibrow. I couldn't remember. what the name
Unibrow,
was.
yes.
I
See,
get, oh yes.
I love how we have guests.
I
Oh,
get-
Chuck has a question.
I
I
get
think
chills.
maybe. Oh, Chuck has a question. Chuck has a question. Chuck has a question.
Mine's not even there. I'm saying it.
Chuck, just like text us or something. Like call.
I mean, there's quicker ways. No, that's the quick. This is the quickest way.
Ooh, the nose on this is like dirty socks. Smell that.
I can't wait.
Smell it.
Ooh, let me dive in there.
It is like, please, right? Am I
It
right?
smells like bad fruit.
I mean, so
Maybe
granted,
this.
it was expired when I bought it.
Oh, Chuck wants to know about Burst. Our opinion on Burst.
I don't even see it.
It says Burst ... thoughts. Isn't that a beer from like his Great Rhythm or somebody?
It might be. I don't know. Is that the beer with
Hold on, before I taste it, I'm going to Google this because I don't really want to taste that.
told
But
you,
I'm going. No, I'm
you
going. I'm going to taste it.
Fucking Burst. Sounds like a Starburst.
Burst IPA from Brown's Brewing Company or Burst from Fox Farm? Oh no, Burst from Great Rhythm. So there's a lot of bursts.
So is that the brewery? Is that the beer that they made with Black Hog or no?
I don't know. There's nothing on BA about it.
It's our official source.
He said it's their sour.
Yeah,
said yes.
That's a Black Hog.
Okay.
Yeah.
Chuck, we haven't had it, so we
I
don't
haven't
know.
had it. No, and I would because I don't know what a sour IPA would taste like because that's what it
so
is, right?
The only sour IPA I've ever had was from a British company. They've got like a deer on their logos.
Giant Bomb.
Chelsea and I had it. What the hell was
There's
the
what's their name? Hermit Thrush has a sour IPA.
Oh, do they? Is it good?
Yes.
Hermit Thrush is fine. Brattleboro, Vermont. Let's go.
SCO?
Yeah, they're open right now. I think it's 7 hours to get there.
Was it? No, it's not.
What time do you got to get home, sir?
I got to be home at 9:30. Shit.
Yeah, it's 10 o'clock. Yeah, I can't.
Don't pull the fourth wall
All right,
down.
I'm trying.
7 a.m. here.
I'm trying to find that beer that was a sour. It was terrible. The sour.
Why don't you go ahead and grab just
All right, here we go. Here we go. Here we go. Bi-coastal IPA. Bleh.
by best.
Bleh.
Just a power hour. Imagine you're the power hour. This is bullshit.
I'm laughing too hard to try it. Hold on.
Oh God. This is only for the after show because this is not great radio.
It's not as bad as I thought it was.
God damn it! No, I don't know.
I mean, it's not great, but like it's
What?
not going to end my night,
Give me the damn thing.
right? Like I mean, it's not great, but it's not
smells-
going to.
Yeah, no. If you had handed that, if you had ordered 2 of these at a bar and passed,
I would
it
have punched you for
It's
ordering
bitter,
more than one.
But it's bitter, but then it's almost way too sweet in the back end. I heard it. In the defense of this beer, I heard it's way better on draft.
Why?
From multiple people? I don't
Why?
know. I don't know.
Why?
Gotcha. I don't.
I don't know. Like, so
No.
I thought the point was to be able to deliver good quality.
Absolutely.
Draft
So
and bottled
I
beer.
gave this bottle to 2 people that had it on draft, and they said the draft is eons better. They don't know what happened here, so I don't know what the situation was.
Thank you, Jared. Wild Beer Company. Look at, I love it how we just throw out ideas. The sour IPA head was from Wild Beer Company. They're British. They have a really awesome logo, and their beer is really terrible. It's really
Wait, where are they? Where are they from?
they're England.
Oh, they're
it's
England.
really bad.
Good thing they can't hear us. The mics are off.
Well, they're on a
Oh
time
no, the
delay.
mics are definitely
They'll hear this
the
tomorrow.
mics are definitely not off.
All right, so Ben, sign wherever you want. Sign whatever you want. I got a marker here for you. Hold on.
Jared, thanks for that. By the way, we were talking about bunker earlier. Brian had a bunker actually with his
Nowadays at Local Cocos.
yeah, with his
Local Cocos
burrito.
Tacos. Yeah.
Which, by the way, burritos were great.
Oh,
we
well,
we,
yeah.
we actually talked about forming a Let's Talk Burritos podcast because of how awesome the burritos are.
I showed you. Oh,
What?
Wait,
Go.
can you tell the story of the shirt from Liar's Bench last weekend?
Weren't you there?
No, not last week.
Damn it. That was a long. So
The
I
abbreviated
can't.
version.
I can't because I don't know what it said on the back.
All right, you know what?
Just say it.
I'll just tell it.
Yeah, please.
All right. So for those that are watching, you have a half-hour story coming at you.
This is the
1996.
the dad version too.
So, yeah, that's good.
No, we were at Liar's Bench, and Kathy saw a guy wearing a shirt that said it was the Wu-Tang logo, and on the back it said, "Carnitas rules everything around me." And we thought that was a little heavy-handed. We're talking about Wu-Tang here. You know, Cash rules everything around me. Carnitas being a 3-syllable word instead of a 1-syllable word. But
So you thought it was a shitty representation of it.
I thought that it was
Could have been better.
It was clumsy.
Okay.
You know, it was clumsy, and somebody just shouted out a C word at the meeting of like, what are we going to put on this
Right.
T-shirt? The guy turned around and I looked at the shirt and I said,
we're going
and
there.
the shirt said,
clean it
"Oh,
up."
boy."
Gotta clean it up.
Turns out it was
Actually, we have more tributary, dude. Damn it.
the Wu-Tang symbol upside down as an M instead of a W. Mad Taco. We couldn't tell, but I thought for sure. My good buddy, owner, general manager of Three Penny Tap Room, Kevin Kerner, also manages his brother is an owner of the Mad Taco. And I took a picture of this guy across the bar and said, "Is this one of your shirts?" And he said, "It sure is. Do you want one?" And I was like, "I do." And I said, "My wife wants one too." And 2 days later,
Send me a picture.
So-
wearing a Mad Taco.
Yes.
So you went from hating it.
But what was the slogan that we came up with
want
that
it.
was could have been better than Carnitas?
Crema.
Crema rules everything around.
But I
me.
think that was
No, but-
that was Kathy after thinking about it for 10 seconds. But I think if we really
close.
brainstormed, I think we
Yeah, it
could
could've been
find
something
us
like-
a one-syllable.
I would have
C
said
word.
No,
no. What about hash? Never mind. It's different. It was a
different
breakfast spot.
Yeah.
It's a breakfast spot.
I don't. I mean, I don't like either of
HREA.
them. I don't like the crema or. But
What do you
I
like?
think it's.
Huh? What do you like?
Crema
Well-
isn't definitively
Well, we got to think
Mexican.
of again.
No one's
let's
sold
think
on
about
the
it.
idea,
Well,
right?
yeah, let's
They
think
already
about
made
it.
the
But
shirts.
but again, I'm more impressed the fact that you went from, "Ooh, that's terrible," to, "Oh, I know the guy. I'll get one of those."
Well, it was,
that's the
I'm not
story.
saying it was
Fanboy,
terrible. I'm just saying. I'm just saying it was
fanboy.
heavy-handed.
That's a long story of Watts. No, it's everybody. But also rocking a sweet shirt now. Wait, is it a tank or no? It's
It was a
shirt.
tank.
Oh,
He's like, we're out of
Guns out.
sleeveless. You want the tank? I was like, I want the
Wait,
tank.
what's
Guns
the,
out.
wait, what's the difference between sleeveless and tank?
I'm sorry.
I got you.
yeah.
Yeah.
No,
as a guy that can't wear
sleeve
either,
stop
I'm
here,
just calling you out that
tank
right now. Yeah.
Stops here.
No, sleeveless is when you get this and then cut the
Yeah.
sleeves off.
Sleeveless is something you make. Tank is something you buy.
Right.
Let's solicit final questions from the 4 viewers that are
Oh,
watching live.
Derek, grilled shrimp burrito all the way.
That's what you
That is
had.
what I had. I had the small. I should have got the big.
I was mad because
Uh-oh.
Ben has had one too many beers. But also signed bigger
Uh,
than Sean Jansen, which is the goal of that. I love it.
I feel like you slipped when you were signing that, and you made it bigger than it.
That's fine.
Tried
This-
to
this-
be.
so
My idea was to write out just a really long story.
if you're a guest on the show, you sign the table, huh?
Yes.
So, final questions from the chat.
We don't really have any.
Fug Life. Oh man, I gave the Fug Life T-shirt to 2 people
Oh, is it the
for
Fug Life?
Christmas,
Yeah.
and they were just like, "I like the shirt, but what?"
West Side.
Never mind.
Isn't there a
Never mind.
Westival coming up?
There is a Westival coming up, but it's not at Liar's Bench
Fuck.
this time.
I'm done.
No, it's still in the West End. Whitey told
Nah.
me where it was.
Where's that? Is that the
Hold
barbecue
on.
place?
Oh
Mojo's?
yeah, no, I think it's at Mojo's.
Is it really?
It is. It's at Mojo's this time, which is
By the
cool.
way,
Like I think they're spreading it out.
Mojo's catering our beer Olympics tomorrow.
Oh yeah, no, that wings all
I mean,
the
if
way.
someone can't come in tomorrow, just let me know.
Well, can we just? What if we just showed up?
No,
like, is
we
there
don't.
like,
yeah.
is
We
there
don't
like
work
a
there.
uniform?
I can take the day off. Too.
If you
tomorrow.
guys pretend
is
you
where
don't
is it
know
in
me
Greenland?
and just
Where
like
is
log
it
in.
in Greenland?
That's bullshit. I know you.
Where in Greenland is it?
Near it's
Can
off
you-
of Breakfast
can you put
Hill,
this in
near
there?
the golf course.
Oh yeah, well, we
Fill a
got to put
couple of
the,
those
the
and
last beer
Yeah.
we're doing here.
I'm
Hold
gonna.
on.
I'll make sure.
Well, let me finish my
I'll
impy
get
here.
the. I'll get the title right. It's the Kate the Great, right? It's coming up next. Gotcha.
It's a super rare Cantaloon.
This is the German guest beer of the night.
I fucking hate you guys.
It's a guess. Hey, look at that fucking signature.
You don't hate us.
You're a special guest. Anthony, shout out. God, look at that. Bud Light never looked so great.
Yeah, it looks better.
Yeah.
Wu-Tang Clan ain't nothing to fuck with.
Oh boy. Oh, I watched Straight Outta Compton. Did I tell you this?
You put it in the notes. You didn't mention.
Didn't even talk about it. Straight Outta Compton, great movie.
I
all I
haven't
gotta
seen
say.
it.
Period.
Isn't like
I didn't know. I don't
isn't
know.
like Ice Cube's kid in it? It was like
Yeah.
one of their.
As Ice Cube.
so that's
phenomenal.
wouldn't it have been better if all their kids were in?
Probably pretty good. What if Dr. Dre had only a daughter?
But they can do stuff with green screen.
What do you call a
nowadays.
female doctor?
A doctor?
Oh, okay.
Oh God! Please don't.
A lot of answers. A lot of
Yeah.
stuff formulated.
Oh boy.
So all I know is the guy that played Easy E.
Oh.
Fantastic.
Greenlaw has one quick question.
We're-
Favorite collaboration beer? All are we talking all time? I know my all time one.
No, I got
know-
one. I'll just say the first one that came to mind, but I'll hold on to it.
Go first.
So the first one that came to mind when you said collaboration, it might not be my favorite, but it was unbelievable. Alchemist Todd Mott.
Oh,
Tarnation.
Thank you for mentioning, because that was not what came
It
to
was
me. But
like it was like the first thing. So it was basically the milk stout
it was a
heady
hopped
topper.
milk stout. Yeah, it was a hopped
So
milk
good.
stout. It was amazing.
And they released it at one of the beer fests as well in Burlington. Unbelievable. I mean, but there's been a lot of great. We had a collaboration tonight that was fine, but it wasn't like.
No, I would totally agree with you that that's amazing. It was not what I was going to go
that's-
with.
That's kind of like a pie in the sky though. Like that's
It was a. It was. I mean,
it will never happen again.
But that's sort of a collab sort of idea.
Yeah. So what do you?
So, other than that, which I would agree with you, what I was going to go with was actually it's a Lips of Faith beer. It was a New Belgium Alpine collaboration. Their Super India Pale Ale.
Super.
Yeah, it was a.
Had Ryu on the cover doing a Hadouken.
It was a tall bottle with a whitish label with a lot of Alpine sort of logos on it. It was just amazing. Like for an IPA, thankfully I drank it fresh because I really didn't even know what it was.
I mean,
honestly,
we know Ben's answer. It's right here. Collaboration.
Right there in the old in the beer tent.
Yeah.
A collaboration between Germany and the old U.S. of A.
people are actually
Oh,
are
man.
answering the question. So Ben, what was your?
Oh, really?
What, yeah,
Nice.
what was yours before we get
So
to the
I
people?
I love it. I love the let's go.
I
Yeah.
can't think of. I'm sure I have a favorite of all time,
Yeah,
but
same.
one that I liked a lot recently. Maybe I can't remember how long ago it was, but it was the 7th Kelsen collab,
Yeah.
called Route 16,
Yeah.
where there was like
They
the
went
one
back
that-
and forth a
Yeah,
bunch?
there was two of them, and one they brewed at
Yes.
7th, and one they brewed at
Yep.
Kelsen. But man, I
Wait,
drank the
no.
shit out
Mo
of that beer.
Mountain because Route 16.
Right. Oh, okay.
Yes.
Yep.
But
No,
still,
but I'm saying Kelsen also drank that beer, and they liked it too. Which was you. If you had let me finish, I would have
yeah.
come around to
Don't-
that.
this is
Brian,
the kind
don't interrupt.
This is
Don't
the-
interrupt.
This is the kind of podcast you're
Don't
here
interrupt.
for. Yeah. This is what we get the 5 stars for right here.
So yeah,
Yeah, good
in
call.
recent
Great call.
memory,
I
that
like
was
the,
it.
the
but
local view. That's yes.
Yeah.
Oh man. Wait.
count on me for short-term memory.
I want to try to think of one more though. I need because there's been,
While you think though, I'll throw. So Chuck threw out Uber Pale Ale, Uber with the appropriate umlaut over the U. I'm not sure who did that because Chuck didn't tell us. And Wes has Black Betty Beavertown, so I assume that's Black Betty from Beavertown. We're gonna look that one up.
It's nice that we're in a smaller brewing climate that we can. A lot of breweries around here collaborate. So I'm trying to figure out like, son of a.
Trying to think of more. Steer away from like a tap collaboration to a distribution.
Well, I mean, we were talking about the Sierra Nevada beer camp. The one we had, the Fullers came in and just did a fucking
English IPA.
Yes.
Get the fuck
yes
out.
for Sierra Nevada to. I mean, first of
Again
all,
with the fucking imports.
but the best though, because no one understands Fuller's. Like they're like, oh, Fuller's cool, but like, yeah, oh, there's also Treehouse in there. It doesn't matter. Sierra Nevada, who's very underrated, that we talked about last week.
Yep.
All we know about is their pale ale, but they call on Fuller's and whoever else to like these old style. Anchor was one of them. Like,
No,
rad.
I think the beer camp
those, like
they're doing
those are the best.
I think the beer camp stuff they're doing is great.
yeah, it is. But
'Cause-
I like this particular year because they called back the old from the
Well,
from
that's
Euro.
they're
Euroland.
always like they did stuff with like Treehouse and some of the other
Yeah.
new guys.
Yeah.
But they bring in the old guys too. It's like that melding. Like
Yes.
you got to recognize.
Yeah.
You got to recognize the new. Like you got to recognize who is driving
Definitely.
your industry now.
That's what's gonna drive
built
somebody
it.
to buy a
Yeah.
$27 12-pack.
Because
of
if it was Sierra Nevada old school with all 12 of the beers were them with 12 other.
yeah, Fuller's,
I'd
and
buy it.
Newcastle
We'd buy
and
it, but
whoever.
if it doesn't have the words Bissell, Treehouse, or Trillium,
Yeah.
then I was holding in a burp as I was saying that, so it sounds like I'm crying.
It's the second time you've sounded like you were crying.
In 2 hours, that's not that bad.
I've not cried in the
cried half
last.
my
Watson,
time
did you try to? Do you cry in the last 2 hours?
I'm
No.
about to produce tears now. Anything else from the chat? We can just shut it down.
No, I mean it's just Chuck yelling. Greenlaw beer camp was great. Ken from Sierra poured. So he went to the Beer Camp Across America festival in Portland
Oh,
under
nice.
that roof.
Yeah.
Ken Grossman poured his beer, which is awesome too. So that's another interesting point I'll talk about quickly. When you talk about breweries who have like big name owners and faces, like Ken Grossman is not a name that most people could throw out there. Like,
Definitely, and you would see him at a beer fest,
So-
and you're like, okay.
yeah, think about like Sam, so like Sam Calagione. Like everybody's heard of Sam. Like Sam's
He's got a good
but
face,
big,
so you
large in
know-
life.
yeah.
You know all that. Even Jim Cook from Boston Beer. You know he's in all his commercials. Ken Grossman, nobody knows who he
No.
is.
Behind the
Like
scenes.
And,
super. Like,
and I want to know if there's like, are there Sierra Nevada commercials out there? Probably not.
No, I've never seen one.
Yeah.
The only thing that I've ever seen advertised was actually, you want to talk about collabs? This was an interesting
I'll
one.
talk about him.
It was a Russian River Sierra Nevada collaboration, and
It was called Sierra the Younger.
no, the name. Hold on.
It was a 19
Brux was the name of it because it uses
BRUX?
BRUX because it used a
I remember
the Bruxellus or whatever yeast. So I bought 2 bottles of it, and I actually still in the door of my car is a cork and a cage from the bottle that I opened while driving down the road and drank
I
it.
fucking remember that. I bought it from Don
Yep.
Tully.
Ooh, shout outs.
The first bottle was actually not that good. Like not that good. It was like eating grass. But then like a year or two, it was great. Like it was fantastic. Like I remember seeing full page ads for that, and I was super excited when I finally got. I don't even remember where I bought it, but I found some bottles. It might have been a Julio's. It might. I'm pretty sure it actually was there.
Brewed once.
Yeah, fantastic if
All right.
you aged it.
All right.
It
there
was
you go.
grass if you didn't. So there's another collab that we accidentally stumbled upon.
Cool. I mean, anything else? Heck of
No.
an after show, by the way.
Oh,
I
you know
mean-
what? You know my favorite part about this too. We were able to do the whole thing, pre-show, after show, regular show in 2 hours, which you and I have not been able to do. So
No, yeah.
you're a calming influence.
He's
over
back.
Mr.
He's back.
Watts,
Yeah.
Thankfully.
Keeping it on track like
so
this fucking train that goes by.
God, for everyone that showed up for that stuck around for the after show, Chuck, everybody. I mean, listen, you didn't have to. I know you didn't have anything better to do, but
We'll send you your checks.
yeah, the
tomorrow.
checks in the mail. But for the rest, please let people
Share
know.
this out too. Let people know what's going on.
If
here.
you enjoyed the show, tell a friend. If you didn't tell a friend,
Tell
absolutely.
2 friends. If you
that'd
didn't
be the
tell
biggest,
2
yeah,
if you
that'd be
didn't
the
tell 2
biggest slap in the
friends.
face. I fucking hate this. Hey, check this
Yeah,
podcast.
tell
out.
2 friends.
So we're gonna end the show now. You can find if you want to listen to the audio podcast, Let's Talk Beer. It's gonna be up about tomorrow, I believe. And guys,
Cheers.
cheers.
Cheers. What's this?